Under lights at Westpac Trust Park for the very first time as the Shell Cup winners try to become Max Grinners. 25,000 online as the Aces of Auckland do it once more with feeling. For the Knights, the final rests on the best bowling attack in the league. Whilst on a night of tension, the search continues to break a recent run drought. For the Aces, it's something similar. The second best attack in match cricket. All in support of the biggest card in their pack, the Ace of Spades.
Park here in Hamilton creates a magnificent setting where tonight Cricket Max crowns a new champion. 10 rounds of competition and we're down to 2 teams. The favourites and the form side, the Northern Knights, they're at home to their near neighbours, the Auckland Aces. What a great year it's been for those Knights as well. They've already got the Shell Cup locked away in the cabinet here in Hamilton. They're leading the Shell Trophy, and if they win tonight, they're on course for an unprecedented treble in New Zealand cricket. Good evening, everybody. Yes, and the Auckland Aces, well, they're in survival mode, really, and they've got to win here to restore some pride, which has been a really, really miserable season. And for them, of course, there's also $25,000 up for grabs. Let's not forget that. It's a big night for all those players, biggest paycheck they could come up for. But it's been a great season of cricket action on Cricket Max, the second year, and what's action we've seen.
What? Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Down he goes again. You better believe here comes another dozen. Twos. Here we go again. Got. That's about a 5-iron out of the screws. And again, straight down the ground. Let's grab our first dozen. Great batch. Sends it over the ropes. Through the zone maximum. Getting jiggy with them. With them! All over the place. Getting jiggy with it. Oh, he's got him. Getting jiggy with it. Gets another one. Getting jiggy with it. That's out. Right, bowling Warren Wisniewski.
Tails is the call from Blair Pocock, and I've got a feeling it's come down tails. Blair Pocock, you've won the toss, decided to bat. That's hardly surprising. Everybody likes to bat first in Cricket Max, it would seem.
Yeah, I mean, the wicket's got a little bit of greenness on it, but we'd like to post a total and hopefully put a bit of pressure on the ND boys.
It looks like it might be fairly quick too.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it enables the bowlers to whack the ball, and it also enables the batsmen to play some good shots. So it looks a pretty good wicket to me.
Now, no Chris Drum tonight, so who have you replaced him with?
We had 13 down here. Hamish Barton comes into the 12, and he's played a lot of mixed cricket, so I'm sure he'll do very well.
Wonderful atmosphere for the game, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great little park, and it's you know, quite picturesque, and I'm sure under the lights it'll be a great venue.
Okay, go and get padded up.
Thanks very much.
Okay, cheers. There's Blair Pocock. Now Robbie Hart lost the toss, having to bowl first. Robbie, that might be a little disappointing for you.
Oh, not really. We're not bothered which way we do it, really. There's a tinge of green in the pitch, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays.
What do you think of the pitch? It looks fairly hard, could be quick.
It's a nice fresh one, so it'll come onto the bat. It'll be interesting to see if there's much sideways in it.
Okay, you guys are the pace setters. You seem to have Cricket Max pretty well worked out.
Well, we're sort of looking to do the basic things really well tonight, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay, all the best with that.
Thanks very much.
Well, that toss could prove to be a crucial one for the Aces, but one man who's got a real chance with the new ball and has done all season for the Knights. It's the top wicket taker in the Cricket Max League, Joseph Jovic.
Hey, man.
How's the nerves?
Oh, not too bad, mate. Looking forward to it. All the hard work's been done earlier, and now it's just getting out in the park and doing the business. So, no, we're pretty confident, but Auckland's a very good side, so we're looking forward to it, yeah.
Well, everyone's talking about Aaron Barnes versus Joseph Jovic. What about that?
Oh, well, we'll just have to wait and see. He's obviously a very good player, and he's done well through the campaign, but it's ball on bat, and we'll just have to wait and see what I've got to deliver.
Okay, thanks, Joseph.
Cheers, mate.
My feeling in the dressing room is that the Knights are all set to take out another trophy. Up to you, Nisbo and Willie.
Good on you, Martin. Yeah, that's a good call. We'll wait and see what happens. But Willie's a fit young man, that Joseph Jovic.
Well, he is, and you can see how hard he obviously trains, and also when he fields, he really throws himself, and he's what the cricket in the 90s has to be these days.
A lot of people saying that the bowling will be the key tonight. Who bowls best wins.
Well, I think so. Initially, I thought the Aces would be favourite, but now that Drum's pulled out, I favour the Knights with Tate and Jovic.
Let's talk about the pitch. Willie, you've had a look down there at the pitch. What have you thought of it?
Well, it's a very hard wicket. It's got tinges of greenness, which means there will be pace to play shots, but I also think there'll be a little bit of encouragement there for bowling with overcast skies.
Okay, so there's a nice look at the track. Well, let's go down to the Aces dressing room now and join Graham Hughes.
Well, thanks, Nesbo. I think I'm pretty safe down here in the Aces room. I'm tipping them to take out the final tonight. Aaron, how's the nerves?
Yeah, it's pretty nervous at the moment, usually, but you see the boys are pretty happy at the moment, so we're just going to get out there and hopefully enjoy it.
It's not just another game, though, is it?
Oh, no, it's a big grudge match. I think, you know, we were down here last week and got a bit of a beating by ND, so, yeah, we're pretty fired up to beat them tonight.
The nerves were bigger last night?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I got married last night to my lovely wife, Pamela Barnes, now, so, yeah.
And now she's enjoying a big honeymoon in Hamilton at the Max final.
Yep, she's out there somewhere.
Well, have a good one. I mean, your runs are going to be important tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all runs count, mate, so all the boys will be pretty fired up.
Well, good luck.
Thanks very much.
Smithy, I'm going for the upset. It's the Aces for me.
Well, he's a braver man than me, that Aaron Barnes, playing cricket the day after he gets married, that's for sure. But if Auckland get home here, then the honeymoon will be just that much sweeter. Magnificent setting here, Westpac Trust Park in Hamilton, hosting the grand final, second grand final of Cricket Max. And the Knights have to be the hot favourites. The ground looks a picture. The lights in the background, plenty of banners around as well. And Joseph Jovic, he's the talk of the town. Kick butt ND Knights, that's what it says. And he's been instrumental in the Knights getting through to the final. The top wicket taker and the best bowling side, the Knights without doubt, are up against Aaron Barnes and an Auckland side that really do need to find some form. They need to win here tonight to restore some pride. Good crowd building up. Lovely ground to watch cricket at here, and a picnic occasion. The fast pace of Cricket Max, the people around the country are really warming to it at the moment. And if it's anything like the final we saw in Napier last year, they're in for a great night out, that's for sure. It's Grand Final 98, and we're in Hamilton, and it just is a marvellous scene. It's party time, the music in the background, and people still rolling in. It's going to be quite a big crowd in the end. A promoter's dream. John Reid there on the left, the operations manager of New Zealand Cricket. All the important people are in town tonight. And speaking of important people, here come the umpires, Doug Cowie and Billy Bowden. Billy Bowden had a little fun at Eden Park the other day. Well, he's under the microscope again here in Hamilton tonight. And as befits a grand final, we've got a very experienced combination there. And little judges in the background there too, popular men they are. Robbie Hart leading out the Northern Knights. Good round of applause they get here. They are the sentimental favourites. They've got home ground advantage. It worked for Central Districts last year in Napier. Will it work for Robbie Hart and his men? He lost the toss, but he's not that worried about bowling first on this pitch. It's fair to say the pitch here in Hamilton has really suited the bowlers more than the batsmen so far in the competitions played this year. And Northern, well, they've got the best of most of those battles so far. It's a big night in store for us. And we've got a couple of fairly nervous commentators in the booth too to take us through those first 5 overs. Be Willie Watson, and with him will be Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Smithy. Yes, it's a big night for Cricket Max, the grand final. The Auckland opening batsmen preparing to come out, Blair Pocock and Aaron Barnes, and Joseph Jovic will be a key man for Northern Districts. The TAB have them as the favourite. 155 to Auckland's 230. Willie, let's look at the Northern Knights.
Well, will this be the side the 98 season will be remembered for? Bailey Styrus, Parlane Tate, plenty of depth there in the batting, but also the bowling. Brad Burns having a brilliant season. Robbie Hart, the captain, and Jovic and Tuffy, excellent pace bowlers.
There's no Chris Drum in the Auckland Aces tonight, so much of the workload falls on the men down near the bottom there, Chris Pringle and Kerry Walmsley. And also the men at the top have to do the job with the bat, Aaron Barnes and Blair Pocock. They'll be looking to Richard Jones and Ian Bilcliffe as well. And of course, Hamish Barton comes in to the starting lineup tonight for the Auckland Aces.
Great scene here. Shell Trophy game played earlier in the week. The Northern Knights bet the Auckland Aces, so there's quite a bit of feeling. There's been a lot of feeling in the earlier season encounters between these two teams, as we saw in some of the highlights before this game starts. So there'll be a little bit of spice to this one. Local derby, Northern versus Auckland. There's always an edge to it. And in recent contests, the Northern Knights have had the edge over Auckland. But there's a key man for the Aces, Aaron Barnes. So much on his shoulders tonight.
It's a beautiful night in Hamilton. It's a very warm evening as we prepare for the first ball of the grand final. And it'll be Alex Tate bowling to Aaron Barnes, two of the key members of the competition this season. And he starts with a wide.
Well, you can play all your round robin games you want, but when you get down to a final, even the best players feel nervous. And Alex Tate, who's bowled well all year, I'm sure even he's feeling the nerves. And if he can get it on a good line and length tonight, he does hit the seam, he'll be able to get a little bit of movement. Overcast skies.
Calls for the single, so the first run off the bat comes in the final. Aaron Barnes and Blair Pocock. They need a good start, the Aces. Aaron Barnes, number 10 there, 79 off 30 balls against CD, 99 off 38 against Otago. And Blair Pocock just coming back into it.
Much more. Yes, that's 2 there.
Light shower of rain. This is in the air, and this is out, and the first wicket is down. Daryl Tuffy takes the catch.
Well, the home side has struck blood first. Takes away to a good start. He'll be relieved at that. And although they lost the toss, they've got rid of the Auckland Aces batsman, Pocock. He's gone for a duck. The Auckland captain, he'll be disappointed. Let's have a look. Was it the change of pace? I don't think so. Pocock just bringing that bottom hand into it. And in the end, a regulation catch for Tuffy. And he'll be relieved at getting an early feel of the ball. Just didn't really get onto it. Trying to hit over the top of this man. Pretty tempting. And Tuffy completes the transaction.
Big blow for the Northern Knights to get the captain early. 3 for 1 in the first over.
Next in for the Aces, number 6, Richard Jones.
Richard Jones, who's captained the side various times throughout the season, comes to the crease. Highest score 50 not out. They'd be pretty handy tonight. Aces haven't got away to a good start. They've lost their captain Blair Pocock in the first over. So Jones and Barnes will have to get going.
First ball faced by Blair Pocock. Barnes. Again looking very comfortable. Aaron Barnes. They've just got to find someone willing to stay with him.
Well, he does, and this is why Jones is there. Pocock holding out to mid-on. You can see the expression on there. He knew he was out. And Tate relieved to get a wicket. Another one, I suppose, for him.
Well, what a season Alex Tate has had. Remember this very ground in the Shell Cup final.
Well, I saw him on Cricket Company the other night, Martin Crowe talking to him. He's a fairly relaxed sort of fella.
Good looking shot from Richard Jones. So he's away comfortably. And just a little consolidation needed here by the Aces.
Well, certainly they haven't had a great season, the Auckland Aces, so they really want something out of this season, and this man's trying to deny that. Alex Tate runs per over 9.1. That's excellent.
Well done by the bowler. The Auckland Aces have beaten the Northern Knights twice this season. Nobody else can say they've done that.
Well, if you can hit straight in cricket, Max, you get a lot of runs. That's where the max zone is. Barnes hit that very hard. Two straight back to Tate. Tate, a good fieldsman off his own bowling, as most bowlers are. You're pretty keen to cut down the runs once you've delivered the ball, and if you can do that yourself.
Here he goes. It's in the air. There's a chance to get Barnes early. And they've got him. Scott Styrus.
Robert Diver, the man out there, and he's taken a crucial catch for the Knights because Barnes has been a leading run scorer in the Cricket Max competition. He's gone for two, and he said before to Graham Hughes that he was nervous, feeling the nerves. Well, he tried to get rid of them with this shot. He really was going for straight over the boundary, because if he didn't get inside, Diver had a great chance, and he took a good catch there, and then initially I thought he'd come in too far. But he's got rid of the danger man. The ace is off to a shocking start. Was it the slower one? Perhaps. He was through it pretty early. And Diver at this stage, I thought he'd come in too far. And an athletic dive there to take the catch. They're delighted.
Big start for the Northern Knights. 5 for 2 at the end of the first.
Next in for the Auckland Aces, number 3, Ian Bilcliffe.
They'll need some runs out of this guy tonight, Ian Bilcliffe. So Bilcliffe and Jones together already.
Yeah, although we put a lot of emphasis on Barnes, so there's no reason why some other player can't stand up and be counted in a final. A great chance to make a name for yourself. And Bilcliffe has played enough cricket to realise this. He's played for Otago for a number of years and a couple of seasons for Wellington. Now playing for Auckland, getting a few runs as well. And he's only 25 years old. He's been around the first-class arena for quite a while. Highest score, 51. Hard striker of the ball.
Jovic. Very slow delivery from Jovic.
Well, this just shows you the confidence of Joseph Jovic. A slower delivery, the first delivery of the day he bowls. Most bowlers are just happy to get it on the spot. But Jovic, he's been bowling so well. Tries a slower delivery first up. He really is an intelligent bowler.
Up they go. That wasn't quite so slow.
Well, Doug Carey not getting in the action tonight, declining that appeal. Let's have another look. This will be very interesting. Jovic bowls wicket to wicket and just sliding down the leg side. Worth a shout though. You can see Jovic get it. Doug Carey quickly turning down that request.
Leading wicket taker in Cricket Max, Joseph Jovic. He's got that very fine, and the first boundary off the bat of Ian Bilcliffe.
Well, it's an area underutilised in Cricket Max. the glide down to third man. Only question here, was it intentional? Let's have a look. I think Bill Cliff probably looked to get it more squarer, then got a flying edge. He'll take that. Gives an indication also the outfield's very quick. Jovic not happy.
Now let's wait for the signal here, and we get it from Doug Cowie.
Well, just earlier in the over, I say Joseph Jovic is a very intelligent bowler. I'm not sure whether I should be taking that back now, because he's cost his side here. He knows it's a bouncy wicket, and he's purposely put this one in a little bit shorter as a reaction for that boundary the ball before. So Bill Cliff gets a free hit off this delivery. And at the end of the day, who knows, this may cost the Knights.
Hammered down the grounds, and another one. It's not out.
Well, that's right. The previous delivery was a no ball.
Free, yes, of course.
Come on, Grant, stay up with the program. But good catch by Alex O'Dowd. And Jovic, this could have been a wicket, except for the delivery before, which was a no ball. Alex O'Dowd knew it was. And you've only got yourself to blame, Joseph.
Right, I'm back with you, Willie. Well, Bill Cliff wants to go. No, says Jones. Wise decision.
So it's a nervy start from everyone, just wanting to get into the final. And let's have a look at this. Wow, that would have been pretty close. That would have gone upstairs, that. And what a great catch by Robert Diver to get rid of Jones.
Tremendous fielding. That was well timed. And Jovic does it all himself.
Powerfully hit here by Bill Cliff. And you saw how athletic Jovic, the build on him before the preview before the game. And he shows that too. Not afraid to dive round. Bill Cliff unlucky. He looks like he's in good form though. Enjoying the good batting surface.
And they should get a single this time. Jones has to scramble. And home comfortably enough. So after 2 overs, 10 for the loss of 2.
Joseph Jovic, clearly the leading wicket taker there. 28 wickets. Bradburn, Tate, all playing today, and that's the strength of ND. But also look at the next 3 of the Auckland players: Pringle, Walmsley and Adams. So really both teams tonight have the leading wicket takers. The best bowling attacks on show tonight. And Pringle, Walmsley, Adams, we'll see them later in the night. But at the moment, Jovic, Bradburn and Tate are in the field.
Alex Tate, in fact, is off the field after the first over. So we'll check as to see what the damage is. And Scott Styris is into the attack. Well, Tate's done enough damage in his first over to last for a wee while.
Yes, I thought it didn't take a little hit on the wrist there. He's probably gone off to get some attention for that. Be handy though, you bring him back in the second innings with a 3-over spell when the crunch comes. But Scotty Styris, you never quite know what he's going to come up with, do you, when he comes on the bowling crease? Slower delivery, quicker one, even when he comes out to bat. He's an exciting cricketer. Something always happens. Sure he won't let us down tonight.
Jams Bill Cliff right up with a good first ball. Yes, they've got wonderful depth in their bowling, have the Northern Knights.
Let's have a see if Styris gets any swing. Yes, that straightens up quite considerably. And really the only option to Bill Cliff there was to play it with a straight bat, back up the wicket. Styris going for 10 runs and over. Well, it looks like the Knights have adopted a policy of conceding a single. They're not too worried about that if the run out's not on. There's Hopkins. They're quite happy to concede that single, reduce the risks. But if the run out is on, they'll have a shot at the stumps.
not too certain about that shot, Richard Jones. Uncertain start by the Aces.
Yeah, they're just trying to find their feet, the Aces. Jones getting an inside edge. Good to see. As soon as he saw where it wasn't a chance of a run, he was off. He didn't dwell on it too much.
Got him! Straight through. And away goes Belcliffe.
Styrus always comes through with something. And he started off with a couple of deliveries on immaculate Yorker length. And he's just continuing that on. The Yorker is probably one of the hardest balls to bowl in cricket at will. He's got rid of another danger man for the Aces. Belcliffe's gone for 6. Look at the length of this delivery and also the swing. Completely defeats Belcliffe. And Belcliffe had a look where he wanted to hit it. And unfortunately for him, it also hits his off stump. And Scott Styrus has done a great job of replacing Tate at the crease.
Beautiful delivery from Scott Styrus. Belcliffe departs for 6. And it's 12 for 3.
Craig Pryor for the Auckland Aces, number 4.
Craig Pryor comes to the wicket and played a cameo innings the other night at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. Hasn't played that many games, only 13. And he's got a great opportunity tonight to show his wares. He scored a lot of club runs, plays for the Grafton Club in Auckland. And he's a fine striker of the ball. Chance for him to step up on the stage of a final and really make an impact.
Starts with a nice confident shot.
Craig Pryor, he's come in for Belcliffe. He was bowled by Styrus, we'll see this. A swinging Yorker, and they're pretty hard to play. And Styrus, I'm just amazed how he gets that Yorker length time and time again.
They're coming in singles at the moment for the Auckland Aces. The Knights on top. At the end of 3 overs, the Aces 14 for 3. The season's best bowler, Joseph Jovic, the leading wicket taker with 28 wickets, the best strike rate amongst the leading bowlers, a wicket every 7.5 balls, allied to the best average of 12.18, rates the young man from the north as Max's best. Hasn't he had a great season? 28 wickets. All set to bowl his second over of the night.
Well, one way of getting a good score in cricket, Max, is score boundaries or use the max zone. And that's what the Auckland Aces aren't doing. They're only scoring in singles. And that's due to a combination of things. Good bowling mainly from the Northern Knights. They're bowling nice and straight, good fielding. And they look more composed at the moment, the Knights and the Aces.
Didn't really time it, Richard Jones. And once again, he takes the single.
Well, Jones is a good exponent of the pull shot. He got into position pretty well, but he's probably more surprised he'd seen it drop short after Jovic had been bowling a steady diet of pitched up deliveries. And he was angry at himself. It was an opportunity to break the stranglehold.
He certainly struggled at times this year, Richard Jones. Styrus gets a wicket in his first over. Tate got a couple, but he's off the field at the moment. And now this might be a bit tight, but in the end he's done it comfortably. Matthew Hart was the fieldsman.
That's a better effort from the Auckland Aces batsmen. Got a bit more urgency into their play here. Craig Pryor. He's an intelligent cricketer. Let's break up the pattern. You don't get a second chance at this Max final for 98. Don't get a second chance to win those $25,000.
Just beats the man in close, in a catching position, in fact. And once again, they grab a single. Well, Chris Krugeline's got the best seat in the house.
Yes, it's a handy place to do your coaching from there, isn't it? And great view down the wicket. Able to see the angle, see what the bowler's doing. And I'm sure he'll go into the shed and tell them what he's seen.
That's a wide delivery from Jovic, signalled by Doug Cowie.
Well, Jovic did this the last previous over and it was called a no ball. Dropped it short. This time called a wide. Just wonder if he's trying too hard, trying to bowl too quick. But also good pace on the wicket, good bounce. But all to now.
Tried to run it down.
Well, he did. Looking for the third man area here, Craig Pryor. They've got a third man in, so at best it was only ever going to be a single. And just wondered if he's better off driving that, showing the full face of the bat.
Real struggle here for the Aces. That's more like it. Going back after it, but he won't get anywhere near it. It's over the top. That's a 6.
Well, well done, Craig Pryor. Take the destiny of the match in your own hands. Do something about it, and this is what he's decided to do. Come down the wicket, break up the stranglehold. What a great clean hit from him. 6 runs, that's a long boundary. And well done. He's getting something going here, Craig Pryor, for the Aces.
End of 4 overs, 25 for 3.
A hit and a miss. This is going to be one of the most unique dismissals you will ever see in cricket. Well, unbelievable. You're not going to see too many more remarkable dismissals than this.
It's off away down towards fine leg, and 4 runs.
This should give the Aces batsmen a lot of confidence. Pryor in the previous over hit 6 runs, and now Jones gets contact. 4 runs here. They've got to get something going now. It'll be too late in the second innings if they don't get into it now. Take the battle to Styris and Jovic.
Time to pick it up. 29 for 3. Really a minimum in the first dig of 80. A minimum.
There's those Knights who've travelled up from Taupo. They're down at Owen Delaney Park. So how many days horse ride is that, Grant?
It's a few, Willie, isn't it? Well, time shot by Richard Jones. It'll be time for a couple here. There's the man, Robert Diver, took that very good catch early in the match.
You can see he's looking straight into the sun as well. The light's not taking effect. Still quite a bit of sunlight around. He's got to keep the concentration down there. The crowd walking past. See the lights starting to warm up.
Yeah.
Again, flicks it off his toes. Down as far as Jovic. Like all pace bowlers, he's got a powerful arm. And sails over Robbie Hart's head.
Yeah, well, those couple of boundaries are giving the Aces a bit of momentum here. Jovic, just have a look at this throw. Too much power. And good backing up by Bailey.
Field changes required by Scott Styris for the left-hander. Well, that's a pretty delicate shot. Somehow or other he slapped it away down through the slips.
Well, it's Billy Bowden signalling the 4 runs there. Wide one from Styrus, very wide. And Pride did well actually to get some bat on it. And it was a toe end of the bat. And Styrus, well, really, it would have been a wide if Pride left it. They're happy to take the 4 runs.
Not a bad delivery to finish from Scott Styrus. 5 overs bowled, and the Auckland Aces 36 for 3.
Nice and straight from Tate to get off the mark. Chance at the bowler's end. Bailey. Now a chance. Another one's gone. Oh. Well, unbelievable. Now he's gone. 36 for 3. Martin Crone, nothing like a final. I think the disease has got a few of them. Finalitis.
And the Aces have certainly picked up the disease. The Knights in splendid form, not only on the field but off the field. They've been terrific, the Knights, so far. In very good form. All their bowlers right on song, putting the pressure on the Aces right from the outset. Alex Tate starting off with two wickets in that first over. That was just brilliant stuff.
Jovic is the top wicket taker in Max. Nice and comfortable, the Knights fans, with this start to the final. Tate's the 3rd best in Max cricket. Now you're about to see the 2nd best in Bradburn. Great bowling attack. Really have got to start to pick up the pace now. Got to try and somehow salvage 90 or 100 out of this first innings if they can.
That's a good shot from Jones, and signs from Jones and Pryor that they're starting to get into this final. Certainly early nerves. Bradburn, he's Northern District's most economical bowler this season. 2nd highest wicket taker. Runs per over 8.8. Super stuff from him.
Gave himself plenty of room. Pryor really showed him all 3.
He's trying to get it through the offside. Lucky just bounced on this new pitch over the off stump.
Came looking 2nd time round. Terrific experience from Bradburn. And they have relied upon him throughout the match with both bat and ball.
Well, there you see he's got a little bit of drift in towards the left hand, and that's stopped Pryor from getting bat on it. All the bowlers have been doing something with the ball. We saw Tate and Jovic using the slow ball. Styrus was up in the block hole first ball. And now we've got Bradburn in on song. So Robbie Hart's got his boys fired up, that's for sure.
Good crowd, really built up over the first 4 or 5 overs or so. Still some coming in. This time stands his ground. Will pick out a single behind square.
Well, Auckland batted first 6 times this season. They've had 4 wins and 2 losses, while the Knights have bowled first 4 times, having 3 wins and 1 loss. So, you know, mixed results there.
Incredible start. Don't let anybody tell you it is just another game.
Oh, this is a brilliant ball again. Notice that he's supposed to be an off spin and turning the other way. He's getting that ball to seam. Going with the arm, Grant Bradburn.
This time gets hold of it. And the race is on. Bailey won't get there. Finds the right spot this time and finishes off the over pretty strong.
A welcome boundary for the Aces. Jones has tried this a couple of times in this over. This time he's got it just too short from Bradburn. And an excellent pull shot. Straight into the ground, found the gap and the middle of the bat. The Aces all of a sudden get up to 42, but there's some nerves amongst that lot.
25,000 hanging over the heads of both teams in this final. Good start for Robbie Hart and the Knights. Always an interesting one. I know teams like to get the runs on the board, but sometimes doesn't hurt in a final to lose a toss and maybe let your side relax with the ball first up.
I agree. I think the new pitch and the fact that Blair Pocock was going out first, and he hasn't played much cricket the last 2 months. And first ball trying to go over the top, that was a big risk. That put pressure back on Barnes, and then he made a mental error as well. And all of a sudden, that first over just swung it the Knights' way big time.
Two terrific bowling attacks. Looks like the ball is going to dominate tonight. Bit in the wicket. Now it's Tuffy's turn to try and do something with it. Now, incredible start. Now, what are they going to call this? No ball and all. And it's gone for 4. So a free hit's coming up after giving away 4.
Well, the Knights have attacked the Aces batsmen. They've whacked the odd one in short just to see what life is in this pitch, and boy, is there a bit. There's certainly some bounce there, and Tuffy not only clears the batsman, he clears the wicketkeeper as well.
Well, now Tuffy's got it. Finalitis, that is.
Well, he's a young man. He's got a big future, but no doubt he'll be feeling it. He's battled on and off for the Knights this year. He hasn't featured in the top 10 as most of the Knights bowlers have, but he's a good performer. 9.4 is a pretty good economy rate. 4 for 14 versus Wellington shows he can take wickets.
Jones, all tucked up by Tuffy. Fascinating. You see the little bit of give, the support that this wicket's giving to the bowlers. And you think about Auckland with Wormsley and Pringle. Warm night, real hot one in Hamilton for the batsmen especially. Just squeezes out a single.
Well, the key for the Knights here is that they're using their height, as Tuffy shows here, brilliantly. Bang into the deck, knocks the bails off, getting in close. And if you bowl straight and get it splicing the batsman, it's very hard to score anywhere. You can't score square of the wicket because you haven't got width, and you can't get it down the ground because you haven't got length.
Good duel, this one. Pryor does a double shuffle, comes up empty, ends up getting a bonus out of William Bowden. A wide.
Well, Craig Pryor gave the sign to Tuffy that he wanted to get inside. It was a bit of a fake, and Tuffy just overcompensated. 50 up for the Aces in the 7th over. Pryor's been the key man. That beautiful 6. And Richard Jones with a couple of boundaries, trying to put this Aces score on the map.
Get away with the single, and Tuffy may be lucky to get away.
Great concentration from Pryor. He likes the ball in that position where he can whip it square, a la West Indian style. He played a corker of a shot up at Owen Delaney to help the Aces get into that final.
Bit of width on this one. Jones can't put it square enough though, and only the single. Of course, it was only last Friday night when these two met in Taupo, and it showed that night there was going to be very little in the game.
There's some great confrontations. Wormsley and Bradburn had a bit of a to-do. Jovic was blasting in. There's a lot to play for.
Well, he draws this one. Tuffy can't believe it. Gave himself some room inside edge and all. Finds another boundary. Big over, important time to come back for the Aces at 56 for 3.
It's a bit of luck for the Aces, but that's what they need. It hasn't been pretty batting so far, but if they can muster up a score around 85-90, they'll put pressure on the Northern Knights. Tuffy starts to feel it for the first time.
7 gone, 56 for 3. Let's take you down to Chris Pringle. Well, Chris, it's finals night and all after a shaky start, something coming back at last.
Yeah, it's right, Graham. So far it's shown that the ball's hit the edge of the bat quite a lot, so it's obviously doing a bit off the pitch.
Bradburn to continue. And again, that swing in the air. Away, Jones comes back for a second, just hesitated for a moment, but we'll get back comfortably. Well, Chris, you guys can't wait to get out there a little bit in this track.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way, Graham. It's hard to know what's going to be a good score out there with the amount of movement.
This has gone a long way. Bailey can forget about this one. Stunning shot from Jones, picked this one up off the rise and made it disappear in a real hurry.
Brilliant shot from Richard Jones. It was just in the slot. It was just coming in. The angle was there, and he set his sights on mid-wicket and struck it superbly.
Looks again out there. We'll find a single only this time to Bailey, who will come into play on this one.
And Chris, there's a little bit of drift out there for Bradburn, but not a lot of turn on this pitch.
No, he's bowled well right through the competition. He's difficult to get away, and we're in a position now where where we need some boundaries. We need, we're trying to accumulate the ones and twos, but if we can get a few into the max zone or the boundaries around the wicket, we can get closer to 80 or 90, which may well be very competitive on this wicket.
Back they come. If the throw had been right on the mark, it still would have been a lot closer. We've seen so often tactics coming into play in the max. Chris, are you going to be kept till the second innings, all 4 overs, or is there a chance of 1 or 2 early?
It could go either way. It just obviously depends how we start. If we can start well and take some wickets and keep the runs down, then perhaps I'll bowl in the second innings. But we'll just wait and see.
Good luck with it.
Thanks,
Another
Graham.
big over coming up now for the Aces. All of a sudden, they have put the foot down.
Well, this is a good shot from Pryor because he knows where the boundary riders are, and he's just swung around the corner. Good little deflection there from Pryor, and a good understanding of where he's trying to play the ball.
Again, that movement through the air, and Pryor really had to jam down on it. But another good over for the Aces. 8 gone now.
Bradburn here just getting the length right this time, and getting a little bit of drift into the pads again. Very hard for Pryor trying to come down the wicket to get the swing through the shot. But the Aces starting to creep up a little bit now. They've got a run rate of 8.87, but they've got to get it up over 9 and towards 10.
So somehow they've got to manufacture 30 off the last 2 if possible. Tuffy. Jones. The call came. Jones is in trouble at the bowler's end. Would never have got there.
Well, they've got to take everything they can, Jones, and Pryor was backing up a long way. He knew that he had to run even though he was going to be stranded. It wasn't as accurate as it should have been.
Ken can't quite time it, but the fight is on. Down on one knee, taking a compulsory 8 after the first over. The Aces fighting their way back.
Well, we said all along we thought this final would come down to the bowlers, and certainly the Knights have started off in great fashion. Really going through all the bowlers, Robbie Hart, and everyone been on song. It's been a delight to watch. The Aces have got to reply when they come out, though.
To mid-wicket, doing it in singles on this over as Tuffy finds a much better line.
And a good statistic, too, to just highlight these two sides is in the 2 matches between them, the highest total has only been 106. Just shows that this bowling lineup for the Knights and the tactics of Robbie Hart has worked time and time again. Same with Pringle and Walmsley and co.
Big reply from Tuffy to the last 2 overs where the Aces started to find the boundary line.
We've seen this year the bowlers have really brought down the average runs per over this second season of Max with deliveries like that. The bowlers have started to feel more confident particularly when they've got the max zone behind them. They're not so bothered about that anymore, and we've seen in year one the batters dominating. Year two, the bowlers have certainly been to the fore.
Here's a chance for another one. Can Hart get across? He can't make up the territory. Amazingly, just near the circle, and they pick up 2.
Well, a bit of luck there for Pryor. Robbie Hart didn't have the legs to get round, but you see the bounce. It's very difficult to play off the back foot. There's real life on this pitch, so a score of around 90, it could be useful.
Really got onto him. Just couldn't get there, Robbie Hart, but they managed to turn that into 2. This time a leg by. Pretty good over from Tuffy. Really kept them down. Just the one remaining in the first innings in this final for the Aces. 9 gone. 77 for 3.
Well, there's the Auckland Aces batting lineup. Barnes and Pocock, the big disappointments. Pocock going for the big shot first ball. That was a real risk, having not played for a couple of months. Barnes then made a mental error, tried to hit it over the boundary fielder, and Bilcliff went to a fine delivery from Styrus. But it's been Jones and Pryor in this excellent partnership of 65 that have got the Auckland Aces back into this final. And one more big over could see them in good control.
He's back. That man Tate. And he's going to be waved away by Pryor. A long way out into the crowd here. So what a welcome back to the park for Tate.
Magnificent shot from Pryor. He knows how important this last over is. Just look at the swing of the arms. He's got a wonderful touch.
And again, looks down to the max, in there for Bailey to chop it off. They come back for a second. So great running, great calling as they turn that 2 into 4.
Bo Matavi gets in on the act for the first time. A max zone attendant. And an important shot from Pryor there. 4 runs.
Change up from Tate. Off the legs, and it gets Pryor off strike.
And slower ball there, just dipping, going under the shot of Pryor. He'd be frustrated with that. 88 for 3. It's a tremendous comeback from these two, Jones and Pryor. 76 runs now from just 42 balls.
3 remaining in the first innings. Nice length from Tate. Couldn't do much with it.
Pryor's first game last year for the Auckland Aces saw him come in with 2 balls to go, and he smoked 20 runs from it. Can he do it now? He's got the strike from Richard Jones, taking that single. Pryor's there on 37. Jones on 31. No doubt about it. Pryor will look down the ground.
Tate to follow him out towards leg stump. Down into the max zone. Can't be dismissed in the max zone. And again, 2 becomes 4.
It doesn't get doubled. If the catch is taken, it's just down to the runs that are run between the batsmen. There's Big Bo again, calling the max zone hit. But the catch was taken, so 2 runs for Craig Pryor. Richard Jones did the right thing by trying to come back. It's given Pryor the strike for this last ball.
Into the 90s. Amazing job after the first over where they lost 2. Straight down the ground into the max zone. He gets them this time. Nails it. Absolutely.
Well, that's an astonishing finish by Craig Pryor. Absolutely scintillating batting. He knew he needed a big hit there, straight into the max zone. That's the best shot on the game. And well-deserved 4 becomes 8. Pryor 47, Jones 31. The Aces just 1 short of the ton.
It's a final. Some people handle it, some people don't. Pryor stood up, turned a great knock into a score of 99 for 3 after the first 10.
Sport.
Lovely run from Benson.
The Crusaders crushed the Blues. Now they want the scalp of the informed Queensland Reds.
That's a beauty.
Exclusively live, the Southern Cross Tournament, tonight on Sky Sport.
Did you quote on that Samuels job?
Yep.
3 months' work, I reckon.
Yeah.
Quote on that little job for Smith too.
Uh-huh.
So what are you going to do if you get offered the Smith job before you've heard about the Samuels job?
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Only one network can let you see who's calling on every phone.
Mr. Samuel.
The only network that's 100% digital. Bell South, not just talk.
I wrote this letter. Dear Lotus, I think the web should be used for surfing and having fun, not for business. Business is boring. Mikey Powers.
You know what, Mikey? Guess what? You're a kid. You can't boat, you can't drive, you can't handle the fact that big companies are using the web to save $1 billion and get the products to market faster. All you care about is fooling around on your computer, right? But who pays for that fancy computer, huh? Your parents. How do they make money? Business. So you know what, Mikey? Go to bed.
We fly to over 45 cities in all 4 corners of the globe with just one thought in mind: to make your world a more enjoyable place. Fly Cathay Pacific, the heart of Asia.
Callum Hunt and Bill Paxton in Twister, Sunday on HBO The Movie Channel.
Welcome back to Westpac Trust Park in Hamilton. It's party time. It's grand final 98 of the Max competition. The Auckland Aces, they batted first, and magnificent recovery, 99 for 3. They lost early wickets, and Northern Knights have had a habit really of taking early wickets. That's been their strength throughout the competition. They did it again here. They got rid of Pocock and Barnes, 2 danger men, and then Billcliffe. But a magnificent partnership for the 4th wicket between Craig Pryor and Richard Jones has given Auckland Aces a real shot here. Bowling figures, Alex Tate did the early damage, 2 for 26, and Scott Storris got the other wicket, but the other bowlers came in for a bit of punishment. Good recovery from the Auckland Aces. Well, one of the star figures throughout this Max season for the Northern Knights has been Grant Bradburn, the senior pro in the side. It's an interesting pitch this season. How's it playing tonight?
Yeah, it has been interesting this season, Stockley. It's been doing all sorts, but tonight it seems to be sliding on nicely, so it's a pretty good batting track.
Okay, then, well, let's look at the build-up for the Northern Knights. You've known you've been in the final now for about a fortnight. Finally, the big day's arrived. How's the build-up gone?
Yeah, it has been fairly relaxed as we've had it all season. The guys have just gone out and enjoyed it. And yeah, it's probably good to be in the field first, actually, just to get into the game.
What about Trust Bank Park here? It's in great shape, isn't it? It's party time.
Awesome, isn't it? The fans that come out to watch us, they had a great time during the Shell Cup final, and obviously they're having a ball tonight, so hopefully we can please.
What's been the secret, you think, to the Northern Knights' success, not just only in this competition, the Shell Cup as well, and going well in the Shell Trophy?
Yeah, it's probably the dressing room, Stockley. Just real happy in there. Everyone's gelling well. The captain's doing a marvellous job, Robbie's doing an excellent job, so and everyone's getting right behind him. But everyone's happy, enjoying themselves.
So you're happy to be going after this 99 first up?
Yeah, we expected a score of 110, 120 first up, so I think that's what our boys will be aiming for.
Okay, all the best.
Thanks.
Well, they started pretty well, the Northern Knights, when they bowled first. They knocked the top off the Auckland Aces, but it was an innings that featured a great recovery.
This is in the air, and this is out, and the first wicket is down. Daryl Tuffy takes the catch. Here he goes, it's in the air, there's a chance to get Barnes early, and they've got him. He's got that very fine, and the first boundary, hammered down the ground, and another one. It's not out.
Well, that's right. The previous delivery was a no ball.
Yes, of course.
Come on, Grant, stay up with the program.
Got straight through. That's more like it. Going back after it, but he won't get anywhere near it. It's over the top. Well, that's a pretty delicate shot.
This time gets hold of it. And the race is on. Bailey won't get there. Now, incredible start, and it's gone for 4. Well, he draws this one. This has gone a long way. Bailey can forget about this one. And he's going to be waved away by Pyle. Down into the max zone. Can't be dismissed in the max zone. And again, 2 becomes 4. Straight down the ground into the max zone. He gets them this time. Nails it. Absolutely.
Craig Pryor leading a magnificent recovery. Just what the doctor ordered for the Auckland Aces. 99 for 3. And that's a fairly formidable target on a pitch which has suited the bowlers throughout the summer. The Northern Knights about to set about their reply. It's party time down here at ground level, I can tell you. The music's coming real loud through the speakers, and the people here in Hamilton, they've flocked to the ground. I wouldn't hazard a guess, but I'd say around about 5,000 to 6,000 people, which is a magnificent crowd at this stage, and they're still coming in. Cricket Max has really come to town, and the people have come to watch it. Great style, great ground for watching cricket. It really is. And they're having a great time. The lights are on. They're not taking effect just yet. They will later on in the innings. But this time round, the Northern Knights are under a bit of pressure. The Auckland Aces, they'll be buoyed by that recovery. Just how will they go about chasing this 99? Check it out now with Willie Watson and Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Smithy. Yes, fascinating, isn't it? As Mark Bailey and Scott Styris come out for Northern Districts, they wouldn't, after the first couple of overs, expected to be chasing 100 to get ahead on the first innings, Willie.
No, that's right, Grunt. The Aces struggled early on. I thought they wouldn't even get to 60 or 70. But then they got their act together. Craig Pryor, Jones finally hit some in the middle. Got up to 99. They'll be happy with that. As Grant Bradburn said to Ian Smith, it's good batting surface here. Plenty of pace in the wicket. But 99, as we've seen through the season, isn't a bad first up score in a first innings of Cricket Max. And especially so in a final situation.
Anything could happen with Scott Styris at the top of the order. And Andre Adams is going to open up for the Auckland Aces, remembering that Chris Drum is not in the lineup tonight, injured at training during the week. And he starts with a wild one, just as the Northern Knights did.
That's a bad start from Adams. And possibly a sign of inexperience, wanting to get into the game, get the first one down there as quickly as possible. And he bowls a wide bouncer, which is signalled a no ball. So a free hit for Styris on this delivery. Adams offers longer run up tonight as well.
So the catch is taken, but of course it doesn't count. I've learned my lesson, Willie.
Yes, you've done well. Previous delivery, a no ball. So all this is to waste. Oh, I suppose Northern get no runs off this. But at least Styris is still in. He had a free hit off that delivery. But interesting to see Adams all season off a short run up and bowl well. Comes to the final and he puts another 10 yards onto it. So he's off his long run up. I wonder why players do that. May as well stick with what served you well. Good runs per over there, 8.9 for Adams, pretty low.
There's a nick, and that's the end of Mark Bailey. So just as Aaron Barnes departed early, so does the key Northern Knights batsman, Mark Bailey.
Yes, and Adams shows me why he's off his long run up. Excellent wicket this for the Aces. Danger man's gone, Bailey. First delivery, golden duck. And this is a classic fast bowler's delivery. Excellent line and length, commits him to playing a little bit of away movement. A regulation catch for the keeper. Adams off the long run up tonight. Excellent angle this. And that's a good dismissal. Just what the Aces need to get back into this game.
Delight for Andre Adams and for Brendan Lyon, who took the catch. Away goes Mark Bailey without scoring.
Next in for the Knights, number 5, Michael Parlane.
So out comes Michael Parlane. The Knights shuffling their order around a wee bit again tonight. We've seen Alex Tate at 3 on occasions, but Michael Parlane, another one who's having a pretty useful season.
Yeah, they keep everyone guessing, the Knights. Parlane, good striker of the ball. You'll have to take responsibility of dismissal of Bailey, who was dismissed in this way. Adams committed into play. Good delivery, that. And regulation nicked through to the keeper, opening the face. Not getting enough on it.
Alex Tate had a couple of wickets in his first over. Andre Adams, one already. Could get an extra run here, no, yes. Well, that's sloppy stuff from the Aces.
And the Knights taking advantage here. Craig Pryor, usually an excellent fielder on the field. Final pressure, the final getting to him. Regulation single down to third man. Pryor just a little bit lazy there, trying to pick up one hand. And paid the penalty.
Good call by Styrus. Ball came off the pad. How did you go?
Well, that's confirmed it's a leg bye. And Adams getting that one to go into the batsman. He's getting the odd one to go away, so he's moving it both ways tonight. Good running between the wickets from the Knights pair. I like that length Adams is bowling, Grant. It's more pitched up than some of the other bowlers. Just because the wicket's bouncy and it's got a bit of pace on it doesn't mean you have to bang it in short. Let's have a look at this. It's up there, back of a length, but it hurries on to the batsman.
Yes, he's bowling at good pace, Andre Adams. Chopped by Parlane. Craig Pryor, the man who started with the bat. So we've come to the end finally of the first over. A good one for the Auckland Aces. The Knights are 6 for 1. The Stags' Craig Spearman rules the roost as the quickest scorer in Cricket Max. His strike rate for the season, an exceptional 231. Spearman has been in outstanding form, second only to the Aces' Aaron Barnes as the leading scorer. Spearman has scored us 493 runs this season, facing only 214 balls. Another wonderful season for Craig Spearman. But he's not here tonight because it's the Knights against the Aces.
No, he's not. And this is an interesting aspect of the game. One I've been looking forward to tonight is performance of Kerry Walmsley. What will he perform like? We know he gets fired up. This is a pressure situation. Will he be able to keep his head and produce one out of the bag?
He's a bit wide first up. In fact, Doug Cowie signals the wide. Walmsley should be able to bowl at good pace here.
Well, I think so. Look at the movement he gets. Although it's wide, it swings away, and you see it there going away to the left-hand side. But I'd like to see Walmsley bowl dead straight, run and just keep the head, be cool. Don't get into any conflict with the batsman.
Oh, beautifully timed shot. That's one of the shots of the day so far.
Well, this will give an indication of the pace in this wicket. Parlane hardly moves his feet here. It's only a half step across. And not a very big swing of the bat. In fact, hardly a follow through at all. And there you see, he doesn't even bother running. That's 4. Walmsley just a little bit pitched up from him. He'll have to come back half a yard.
He comes back half a yard, all right. It has been picked up by Parlane and dumped over the boundary.
Even better shot this from Parlane. Once this fella gets going, the timing is amazing. Just effortlessly flicks it off his legs. It's as good as Alex Tate's shot last week over square leg at Taupo. Look at this, just flicks it off his legs. And he does enjoy batting on wickets with a bit of pace in them.
Again, he's flicked it away. Bit of work to be done down there by Pryor. But an expensive over here for Kerry Walmsley. Well,
jeez. My father said there was only a week between a good haircut and a bad haircut. Not quite sure about that one though, Grant.
23. Is that Michael Jordan's number, is it?
Oh, I'm not sure. He's got number 4 on his back. What does it all mean?
Oh, that's a tough one for the keeper. It's a leg by, 4 of them in fact. But Walmsley strays down leg side.
Well, Parlane really is getting one over Walmsley. The 6 and the 4 really taking his toll. And he's starting to stray in. Before the start of the over, he's getting them to swing away. Now he's forcing the ball into the batsman's legs. So Parlane's one up in this conflict, this battle.
Well, that's just a heave from Michael Parlane.
Well, it is, but he knows he's on top of him. And he knows he's got him rattled. So he's really trying to put a nail in the coffin there. Look at his stance. He's almost a long way outside leg stump to free those arms. Someone should be telling Kerry Walmsley that Parlane is batting outside leg stump. Relay that information. Sometimes it can be a lonely thing when you're going for a few as a bowler.
Well, that's a pretty good delivery to finish. So a real mixture in the over from Kerry Walmsley. And at the end of it, the Northern Knights are 24 for 1.
Good end of the over there by Walmsley. That's a good effort. That could come back. He'll be looking for more of that in his next over. Parlane really got on top of him. They would have given him a lot of confidence. And there's Parlane, second on the board for the season's fastest 50s. Also Aaron Barnes tonight in the final. And lower down the list, Pocock and Hamish Barden for the Auckland Aces. But there's Parlane off only 13 balls.
Good stop by the keeper. Wide bowl by Adams.
And Billy's bringing them all out tonight. Has almost 2 wides. This is a shocker. It's Lyons done well to get a glove on that, diving full length. Here's clearly a wide. Good save by Lyons.
Oh, he's done it again. Bit silly. No ball.
Well, this is an intelligent bowling. Not very smart, and Blair Pocock should have a word to Andre Adams. This is clearly a no ball. And Storris is going to get a free hit off this. If I was Blair Pocock, I'd go up to say to Andre Adams, there's 25,000 reasons why he shouldn't be bowling like this.
Well, nothing for that free hit for Scott Storris. You can see the funny side of it, though.
Yeah, I just wonder what he's trying to do out there, actually. Should be getting it up there. There's a little bit of encouragement if you land it on the right length.
He's got a hold of this. Plenty of wood on it.
Well, the previous 2 deliveries have been warm-up for Storris. He's got two previous siders what a short delivery's like. So he's all ready to play this shot. Adams had the ball slightly more pitched up. And Scotty Storris hits them, they stay hit. And this really flies off the middle of the bat.
Not this time.
I just feel that the Auckland bowlers are starting to lose the plot a little bit. Starting to get a little bit of a ragged effort. And as I said before, Blair Pocock should be in his bowler's ears to say, well, calm it down, come on. Let's get back to the basics.
So Adams once again gets through without conceding a run. They'll probably, as they have done, Willie, hold Pringle back. Although they might be tempted if things start to get away from them in the first innings to get him in.
Well, this is what happens if, as a batting side, you get into a couple of bowlers. The captain's then forced to make several changes and bring in the ace card Pringle early on. That'll upset the Auckland Aces' plan. Here's Chris Pringle. He'll know what a final's like. Fielding close in.
This has gone behind the keeper, and it's away down. One bounce, 4 more.
Yes, it's can confirm that's 4 runs. And Styrus flying top edge on this one. Adams just looks like he's just into a pattern of bowling short. I can't understand it. Styrus is a reasonably good player of the short delivery. Nearly 6, 1 bounce 4.
Oh, beautiful. Big over for the Northern Knights.
Well, this is Styrus' best shot, I believe. And right up the middle of the bat. When he hits it, they stay hit. Northern Knights, 38 for 1. Strike rates are pretty high tonight. And Aaron Barnes is the leading man in this match. Strike rate of 209. The next one, Alex Tate, Northern, 202. Hamish Barton up there, 195. And the man at the moment, Michael Parlane, 187. And he's doing pretty well tonight. Strike rate of 167 tonight.
Slow delivery from Walmsley, and he's bowled a wide. Doug Cowie took a wee while to work it out.
Wait a close look at this one, Doug Cowie. It was a slower delivery from Walmsley. Let's have a look ourselves. And a good call by Doug. I think Kerry Walmsley had half an inkling it was going to be called wide.
Good tight delivery this time. Happy to pick up the singles, though, the Knights. They made a very good start, even though they lost Bailey early.
Well, they'd have been a bit worried by the Aces getting up to 99, and they'd have been a little bit nervous to get away to a good start. There's always the thought that you might get knocked over it. And so they'll be very happy at 41 for 1 off 3.1 overs. Run rate of 12.9. It just shows interesting statistic. First 4 overs that have been bowled tonight by the Aces. The first one started with the no ball. And the next 3 all started with the wide. So the pressure getting to the Auckland Aces, their bowling attack. Kerry Walmsley's making a good comeback in this over, bowling a lot straighter. He's settled down.
Cleanly struck by Parlane, and catch not taken, so the runs will count into the max zone.
Good hit by Parlane. Get the double the value for runs down in the max zone. He does hit straight well. Walmsley at this stage perhaps thought it would have been caught, but Jones does a good stop there just inside the line. Bo Matiba there signalling the max zone.
Good slower ball, a little hesitation, but in the end they get 1. Strong comeback from Walmsley in this over.
It is, and this is something we saw from Scott Styrus. A lot of Yorkers when the Knights were bowling. So he's come back well, Walmsley. He's just concentrating on getting it down there, mixing it up, the odd slower one. This man Styrus, good off the back foot.
Big swing and a miss by Styrus.
Well, he took a chance here, Styrus. It was a pretty quick delivery from Kerry Walmsley, who's a tall man, 6'5". If he had hit it, That would have been a boundary, no doubt about that, and Kerry Wormsley can see the funny side of it. He'll be happy with the dot delivery. No run scored off that.
Wormsley went for 78 and 4 overs earlier in the season against Wellington. Well, that's got away from him, and it was a gift delivery. Bounced, I think, just inside the line. 4 taken.
Hardest delivery to bowl sometimes is the last ball of an over. Just tried too hard to make it a dot delivery. And he just let himself down here, Kerry Wormsley. Storis was onto it and dispatched it.
I reckon that almost went over the line, Willie.
It'll be interesting to have another look at that. Let's have a look. Storis gets underneath. It's pretty flat 6. Does it go over the line? Yes.
Yep.
No doubt about that. So that'll be fixed up, no doubt, later on. So Storis starting to hit some form. Him and Parlane. And they forced the Auckland Aces into their first bowling change. Aaron Barnes didn't feature at the batting crease. So a chance, well, he got married last night, so
we'll see what happens. Flicked away, and we understand officially that last shot was a 6, Willie. Well, we could see that. Not quite so easy for the umpires out there.
No, it's not. And umpire Billy Bowden probably knew there was it was pretty close, so asked for a little bit of assistance, and he got that.
Well, he's knocked the bails off at one end, which causes great confusion.
Well, he's gotten too close there, Aaron Barnes, and watches right out. Oh, he's done it with his foot. And normally the umpire will signal dead ball, but it's all happened too quickly. And normally the bowler flicks it with his hand. Aaron Barnes decided on this occasion to kick the stumps.
Hit very straight, looking for the max zone and finding it.
Scotty Storis showing a lot of style tonight in the final. Straight down the ground, using the max zone. Down through the mid-on area. And a brave effort from Hamish Barden. Diving across, gets on his feet quickly.
Storis through the leg side, and he picks up another one.
I don't know if I'd bowl that short to Scott Storis. He's a very good player of the pull shot off the front foot. Watch this, slightly short. Just gets into that shot, and they stay hit. Really go to the boundary very quickly. And Barnes saying, well, that was a lucky shot or something like that.
Slows it down into the max zone. What a great shot.
Billy Bowden signals the maximum hit. 12 runs and a good reply by Storis to Barnes. That'll keep him quiet. And an excellent effort straight down the ground. Really staying hit this one. That's a long boundary.
Again, a scramble out near the boundary. Can't make it. Another 4. What an over for the Northern Knights.
Storis putting an early stamp on the final for the Knights. He's on fire. Again, that shot through the mid-wicket region. Perhaps the Aces will have to look at putting someone there. And he's got a strike rate of 244.
78 for 1 after 5. For 44, a season's best and all-time best. Carl Bulfin, the blonde bomber, made his own individual mark on Cricket Max this year. The team that suffered at Bulfin's hands, the league's leading team, the Northern Knights.
One of the great characters of Cricket Max, Bulfin. Now a show of character required from the Aces. I thought they might have gone to Pringle. They need him.
Well, they should be going to someone with a bit of experience, a bit of know-how in bowling in the slog. Can't believe the length they're bowling. It's bowling on a pitch when it bounces short, it says sit up and hit me, and it's being hit to all parts of the ground here in Hamilton. Well, what can Craig Pryor do about it? Great nick with the bat, but that's history now. It's with the ball that counts.
Looking for a quick run out, might have him. Billy Baden will go upstairs. Tony Hill, third umpire tonight, about to come up with the call. Great fielding from Pryor. He did it with the bat. Has he done it here?
Well, first of all, he bowled a great delivery. He bowled the right length for a change, and that was a lesson in itself. I don't think he's going to get the run out, but impressive start to the over. I think you'll find that he's just got home. Benefit of the doubt will go in favour of the batsman. Scott Styris survives. We talked about experience. There was a hint of that in that delivery.
The Knights on a roll on a golden summer in New Zealand, trying to make it their final in the very first innings if they can build a nice lead. Styris, the destroyer. Bit of a run drought last couple of games for the Knights, and they sent Styris into Auckland last Friday night. Good change up from Pryor.
Here's the action with the run out. Look at the aggression on the face of Craig Pryor. He knows that Auckland needs something special. He almost provided it.
Desperate stuff. Styris, short arm jab, another one's gone.
I'm going to have to check the rules. Is there something wrong with bowling Yorkers? Can't believe it. They've struggled all year to make runs, Auckland, and they're giving them away. Short of a length. Thank you very much. Hasn't he been watching the last 5 overs or so? He doesn't mind it there.
What a way to bring up to 50. It is a blazing sword tonight from Styris. And again, hang on, Wormsley puts him down. In a night like this, in a night like a final, things like this happen, but you just wonder. You ask your question, whose night is it tonight?
Well, it's not Kerry Wormsley's at the moment, that's for sure. You must take these. That's a regulation outfield catch.
Can't believe it. Struggled with his first over. Important member of the side. Parline with a cheeky chip that's going to get him a couple. Potter couldn't get there, and the Knights breathing confidence.
Well, they're putting on a show here. This is fancy stuff. Unbelievable. Get it wrong, you visit the dentist. Get it right, you get a couple. That's not a real smile.
Parline. Great fielding again from Pryor. 6 overs gone. The Knights are really online in this big game at 88 for 1. Difficult night out for the Aces. Coach Tony Blaine, real struggle time.
Right at the moment, that's for sure.
Tony, what about the thoughts? Now they finally go to him. Pringle certainly required on cue.
Yeah, sure. You know, they've got off to a bit of a flyer, haven't they, the Knights? And, you know, obviously, same with their batting. We just haven't got it right in the first few overs. But, yeah, Pringles is the experienced campaigner, and, you know, with any luck, he can pull it round a bit. You know, I mean, the game's not over yet, is it?
Blaney, is that your real hair? You've had a heck of a year. Have you got any of your real stuff left?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I was having a chat with Greg Matthews the other day, actually, Stockley.
Time we see in Max, though, it doesn't matter. So many occasions this game can shift and turn around all over the place.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, that's the beauty of it, you know. Basically, we didn't really hit the max zone when we batted at all, so that's what we've got to look to do in the second dig.
Pringle, vital. Can he break these guys up? Without a doubt, Tony, one of the most difficult players in the country in this sort of cricket.
Yeah, no, he's a smart cookie, Frings. He's got what you'd call rat cunning when he's got the ball in hand. And he said what he lacks for pace these days, he makes up with street smarts. And anything can happen when the big fella's got the pill in the hand.
Tony, what was the message going into the final? You've been knowing that this game's coming up for a week now. How's the build-up been?
Oh, yeah, we've tried to keep it reasonably low-key, Stockley. We didn't want to get, overhyped and play the final before we got there. So we've had a couple of fairly low-key trainings, but just focus on quality rather than too much intensity. And we've had a good day today. And really, I mean, the guys have done well to get here. And, they just my instructions for them were just to go out and enjoy it tonight. Try and take a bit of pressure off themselves and give it the best shot. So, as I say, we're not out of it yet, although we're running a fairly slow second at the moment.
Pringle to try and improve on that position. Just keeping them down nice and tight. Better stuff, but interesting wicket, Tony, because it's got a bit of pace and bounce. Do you think everybody was a little bit keen, got carried away with all of that?
Well, I don't know. I think Northern are a bit like us in terms of the way they bat. They're pretty much front footers, and the instructions were to hit the splice, and our guys have banged it in with the new ball and used the pace on the deck, but we've probably overcooked it a little bit with the short stuff and got too much width too, and it's made it too easy for Scotty Starris in particular to take the long handle.
Starris really tried to drag it around from wide of off stump. Billy Bowden calls it that, so they get a bonus of a couple. Well, Tony, good luck for the rest of the night in the final. Hopefully you can turn it all around, hang on to the hair and hang on to your fingernails.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers.
Tony Blaine, the Aces coach, who's got a difficult one now as they have to fight back once more. They did it with the bat. Now Pringle, hopefully, with the ball. Starris hasn't moved. The crowd will. It's out amongst them.
Well, this is headed downtown Hamilton on a Friday night. And at the moment, the party's here at Westpac Trust Park because the local side are smashing it everywhere. Forget about the experience. If you don't get the length right, you'll suffer.
Sitting waited on the change up, and we've got a classic catch out amongst the hill. Starris again, down to the max, and it'll go for a dozen. Well, they've served up their best, and Billy Bowden will finally get up there and find 12. And Pringle, the experienced man, put out of here.
Well, a lovely signal from Billy Bowden, but I like the shot better. That's worth more. Worth as much as you can get. Over the top down there, Richard Jones couldn't get high enough.
Pringle comes up with another wide, so the final not being handled by the Aces. $25,000 on line. The Knights, big front runners in this summer of cricket. Can anybody catch these guys? Pringle's lost this one down the leg side for another wide. Nearly goes all the way. So this over costing already some 23 runs.
Well, I've lost the plot a wee bit here, Auckland. Everyone they've turned to has just got away from the basics. That's not Chris Pringle of old. Chris Pringle of old is to bowl straight, to bowl nice and full.
Starris again, this time over. Squiff over point, and they will try and think about a third. They won't get it. So Pringle, finally, it's over for him. Not yet for the Aces, though, after 7. The Knights at 116 for 1. 17 ahead.
Well, in between innings, Graham, I was down at ground level. The Auckland Aces walked past me. They look quite confident. There's a few smiles on the faces. They enjoyed that recovery to get to 99 for 3. I don't think there's too many smiles now because that word pressure, the grand final occasion, it's getting to them the most.
Talked about the golden summer. Gorgeous in Hamilton, this night of history where the Lights get the flick for the first time ever at Westpac Trust Park. Great crowd in. The locals enjoying all of this. First ever century partnership for the Knights in Max cricket. Parlane just happy to keep on dragging Styrus down to shape up.
When it's your day, it's your day. Good, sensible batting from Michael Parlane. He's had enough of them, he should know. But at the moment belongs to Scott Styrus. 71 off 26 deliveries, 5 4s, 3 6s, 2 into the max zone for 12s. Strike rate 273. Unbelievable partnership.
Shell Max man of the match online tonight also. No need to guess who's out in front.
He's got the stencil out, the stencil with S on it.
Excellent wicket for this final. Plenty of pace in it. Bowlers just haven't got it right, anywhere near right for the aces. Parlane! Well, they call this guy the Bear. The right type turned up tonight. It's a big, angry Grizzly.
Well, this is a huge hit. That would be the longest boundary he's picked out. Pitches on the far side of the block. He's got to carry this the best part of 80 to 90 metres, and he does it with ease. He lands on the marquee roof. I'll tell you what, they'll be enjoying it inside the marquee. They're certainly enjoying it outside.
Tries to go across the stumps. Worked for him last time round. Not so this time. 160 the strike rate from Parlane. 267 from Styrus. Absolutely destroying the aces. Searching for their best with the bat in recent weeks. They've found it tonight. And again, here's another one.
I can't believe this bowling. I really can't. They're going to get another go with the bat, but will it matter? They keep bowling like this. What's wrong with bowling straight and full? You know he's going to give himself room to free his arms. He's done it all night. He's done it all year. Do your homework and put it into practice. That's way too short on this pitch, on any pitch.
Parlane flying into full stride. And again, down to the max. Maybe they've got one. They have. Finally, this big partnership is over.
And the message there from Parlane to his partner Scott Styrus: don't you give it away. I might be on my way. You stay. It's your night. Make it belong to you. Parlane gone for 36. Picking out Pocock down the ground. Success at last for Auckland. It wasn't in the perfect length either this one, but the timing wasn't there this time round. Pocock picks up a fairly simple catch. Finally they hold on to one, Auckland, and they get the breakthrough.
Long time coming, down on his knees, almost praying for something to turn, Pocock. They get him for 36, but there's been some damage done at 128 for 2.
Number 13, Alex Tate into the fray.
Well, you think you've got rid of Parlane. You think you've finally got a breakthrough. Along comes another one that's going to cause some worry. Alex Tate.
Well, what a couple of years he's had in all forms of cricket, Alex Tate. He's 25 years of age, 20 max matches, 32 innings, and a strike rate 174. And he comes in with a handy situation. He can almost sit on his bat the way Scott Styrus hitting it.
He made one disappear last Friday night in Taupo. I think there's some locals still searching for it. Down to the last couple of overs and major concerns for Pocock and crew.
Huge importance right now for Auckland. If they want to get back, now's the time. They can't relax for these last 2 overs because it will be gone. Now's the time. Pocock's got to say to Dean Potter, get it up there, get it straight, go for as few as possible, because the only way we're going to get back in this match is to start regaining some position now.
Styrus, finally they grab him as well. So Potter with the important wicket, but Styrus, brilliant innings. Highest ever for the NDs in max cricket, 72. Incredible knock-off, just 28 balls. Might be the final tonight thanks to him. Arise, Sir Scott.
Well, that's a big call, Graham. Early days yet, but he's on the way, and he's putting the Northern Knights on their way as well. How often do you see it? One partner goes in a big partnership, the other one follows very quickly. Not quite getting the timing there, the bottom hand coming into play. Maybe the loss of momentum, the loss of power lane just affected his timing a wee bit. Maybe the left armour coming around the wicket, something different, having to drag it across. In the end, Chris Pringle took a pretty useful catch low down, and the Auckland Aces, a mini comeback.
Some tempered celebrations here. They still have to concern themselves to keep this overall lead down over the final two. 128 for 3.
Matthew Hart, number 10, next in for the Knights.
Matthew Hart to link up with Alex Tate. And the 25-year-old Knight with a strike rate of 152, his highest score of 39. No time for anybody to mess around. But they will certainly try and continue this on to hopefully get out towards 40 or 50 run lead, which would be an amazing stuff for the final.
Well, a lead of that nature is going to mean that someone in the blue and white colours has to do a Styrus-like performance. They're capable of doing it, but at the moment, the smart money is going heavily onto the Knights.
Confidently. Up to the man deep on the boundary. But the man out in the deep. Well, think about the person that's come into this final as the leading run getter. Man who topped everybody in the max. That man, Aaron Barnes. Married 24 hours ago. Now he's got to become a hero in the final.
Isn't that enough pressure?
From the altar to the middle of the wicket. Gets through everybody. No luck at all in this one for Potter.
Well, keeper's standing up. He's standing back. He's got a better chance of catching this. This would have been a magnificent take. He's nowhere near getting it in his gloves, even if it hadn't taken the edge. Playing your percentages, Graham. I'm not sure Auckland are doing it too well at the moment.
Terrific crowd in. On this warm night, already warmed up by Styrus and the Knights at 133 for 3. A little bit of a fumble. They won't have time to turn back for a second, though. But a big over from Potter so far. 4 down. Has a wicket, just a 6 off the over. Blair Pocock can only be thinking, why couldn't we have found another 3 or 4 of those? Hart won't get down to the max.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen too much short pitch bowling in this over. Because of that, I don't think I've seen too many boundaries. Just 7 runs off 5 deliveries. They're learning a late lesson.
Very much following the example of Styrus when he bowled it, pitching it up, getting a bit of swing. Tate doesn't quite get it. Thought about the second. Excellent fielding from Pringle. 9 gone. Crowd of around 5,000 or 6,000. 136 for 3.
Thought I saw Nisbo around by that hot dog stand for a second there, but it wasn't. Northern Knights, they're dining out though. 136 for 3. They have 6 deliveries left in this innings to push that lead beyond the 37 it is currently. So if they can get another 13, say, just pluck a number out of the air, 15 would be 50 would be a very handy lead. And playing with the confidence they've got, they'll take some pegging back.
What a night for the final. What a night of pressure. What a performance so far by the Knights, the favourites. Pryor gets the wide call. Pryor was a little bit concerned about it because Tate had backed away. Good call from Doug Cowie.
Powerful man, that Martin Crowe. Fancy organising a duck fly past.
Now he's called another one.
The red arrows aren't available. We've got the next best thing.
Pryor back to his mark. Won't get this one his way. Shake of the head from Cowie.
Well, this little comeback here by the Auckland bowlers should be saying something to the batsmen. They're trying. Our bowlers are trying for us. They may have got it wrong earlier, but they're starting to turn it round. Can we help them out when we bat shortly?
And again, Tate wasn't allowed much room on this one. Interesting to see what target they can set. And if, most importantly, Pocock and Barnes can get them away to a good start in reply. Pryor to change to the left-hander around the wicket. Down the ground, just short of the max. Great fielding. Richard Jones from in the deep.
There's a good hit down the ground there. What has also cost the Auckland Aces are the extras. 8 leg byes, 16 wides. No, I'm sorry, that's not on.
Tells you a lot about a special night. Tells you, in fact, that it's a final. And again.
Look at that Doug Cowie, eh? There's experience for you. Just a little turn round to the scorers, puts the arms out, saving the energy. Big match occasion. That's experience.
We'll finish this over sometime tonight. Now, all of a sudden, it's turning into a real worry.
Well, I think you've got to bowl to your field, whatever form of cricket you're playing. Sure, it's a bit of a gamble in cricket, Max. That's the nature of the game. But you've got to bowl straight. Can't bowl leg side-ish. That's heading down leg side and just helped on its way. Fine leg is up. Very costly.
Still with a couple left in this last over. Yep, you guessed it. Here's Doug.
And Billy Bowden at square leg. He just watches on. The old master, the experienced one. He's been at the Adelaide Oval, this guy. He'd have to pay to get in at the moment.
Is he dancing with himself at square leg, I think, Billy?
They're just looking for some more pills somewhere in the sleeve.
Tate. Been a long, long over. 4 wides in this final over from Pryor. The Aces. Stats weighing rather heavily on their minds as they are about to finish off the 10th over. And somebody might be gone. They'll have time and they'll nail Matthew Hart. So something at the end of all of that, but an extraordinary reply from the Knights. It is a night of history here. First time ever the lights in Hamilton, the final, and the Knights really putting it to the aces with a massive lead of 52. 151 for 4 in reply.
Tomorrow on Sky Sports. Great catch. Highlights from day 3 of the first test. The Black Caps versus Zimbabwe. And he could be out, and he is. New Zealand versus Zimbabwe. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Sky Sports.
When you are trusted to make deliveries to as many places as UPS, you need a vehicle or two. A few planes. Even the odd tuk-tuk. But if this were all we had to make your international deliveries, we'd be in deep water.
Rather badly. Adams with 1 for 18, Pryor 1 for 36, and Dean Potter did a good job towards the end, took 1 for 8. But as I say, 1 or 2 of them have certainly suffered at the hands of the Northern Knights batsmen here tonight. So a very good lead indeed for the Northern Knights. Joining me is a man who's not playing tonight, sadly, Chris Drum. And Chris, what's the problem?
Just managed to tear an abdominal muscle when we're down here for the trophy game earlier in the week, so out for a couple of days at least.
Very disappointing, obviously, with a big occasion like this.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed to be missing out because it is a great night, and it'd be nice to get in there and perform for the guys.
Well, they made a very bad start when they batted, but an excellent recovery. Craig Pryor doing a marvellous job there.
Yeah, him and Richard Jones did a really good job. Did bring it up to 99 there, but ND just managed to get away there on us. So I'd say the boys will be pretty keen to do well now, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to score right 120 odd here just to make Northern work hard in their second innings.
Yeah, it's always going to be hard batting last. So any lead, 80 runs, whatever, will be difficult for them to score.
Okay, Chris, good luck with that injury.
Thanks, Grant.
There we are. There's Chris Drum, and let's hope he's back into cricket very shortly. Well, 99 scored by the Auckland Aces. Let's have a look at the reply. The highlights now of the Northern Knights innings. There's a nick, and that's the end of Mark Bailey. Oh, beautifully timed shot. He comes back half a yard, all right. It has been picked up by Parlane. He's got a hold of this. Plenty of wood on it. This has gone behind the keeper, and it's away down. 1 bounce, 4 more. Oh, beautiful. Well, that's got away from him. Styrus through the leg side. Slows it down into the max zone. What a great shot. Again, a scramble out near the boundary. Can't make it. Another 4. Styrus. Short arm jab. Another one's gone. And again. Hang on. Walmsley puts him down. Styrus hasn't moved. The crowd will. It's out amongst them. Styrus again. Down to the max. And it'll go for a dozen. Well, they call this guy the Bear. And again, down to the max. Maybe they've got one they have. Styrus. Finally, they grab him as well. Yes, a magnificent batting by the Northern Knights, and they take a lead of 52 runs into the second innings of this match after the Auckland Aces recovered brilliantly to get to 99, but it wasn't enough. And the Northern Knights just showing their strength and their depth have made it through to 151 for 4 on an absolutely brilliant night here in Hamilton. The big crowd really getting involved, and they've got every right to too, because the home side is performing extremely well. Of course, they've been the pace setters in the competition right from the start, and they're showing us so far anyway just how good they really are in this form of cricket. So the crowd being asked to clear the field now. The lights very much have taken effect. First time they've been used here in Hamilton, and it really is a magnificent setting. It's a lovely night. It's cooled down a wee bit. It was very, very hot earlier on, but as you can see, it's a carnival festival atmosphere, if you like. Big crowd in, and well, you really couldn't have got a better night for the grand final of Cricket Max in 1998. So the players getting ready now for the second innings of the game as we go back to our commentary team of Graham Hughes and Martin Crowe.
So Alex Tate, the man of the moment now, to try and get amongst it early. So can they do it? Can they come up with the goods? Barnes. He's led the way all season long in the Max. Failed in the first innings. But as did Pocock, who went first ball. Looks nice and relaxed as he talks to Doug Cowie. But they've got to turn it around. Big lead up. Tate and Barnes. Straight into it. Heavens, they got away with it. Just misses the Max, but Barnes was nearly gone first ball. If he had been, that might have been the final there and then.
No doubt about it, Graham. This could have been all over for the Aces. Barnes' first ball. For some reason, he wanted to go for the big shot. Did exactly what Pocock did in the first innings, but he's got away with it. Extraordinary from the key man for the Aces.
And gets away with this one. Chance! Oh, he was nearly gone again. It's almost like third time proves it. Next ball.
Well, they're trying to obviously get some sort of total that they can stay in this final. Barnes was gone for all money, not even really in the frame. And they just got to show a bit more composure out there. There's a long way to go in this final. But Barnes and Pocock, who made 2 mental errors in the first innings, are starting to do it again here.
Happy to settle this time, Pocock, unlike the first innings. Just sends it down through mid-on for a single. What sort of target's still tough to get? We've seen most sides struggle in second innings this year.
Well, I think any score around 80 plus is going to be hard to get, but the way the Aces are going about it.
Jovic behind square, again just the single.
It just concerns me, Graham, that they've come out in both innings, these two, and they're just going for the work. They're not taking any time to adjust to the pitch or the light or the bowling. And for the two key men, that's just suicidal. You've got to spend a few balls just adjusting, getting in there, and the runs will come later.
Pocock! Well, here's a massive show of strength in the first over from him.
Well, this time at least he had a look at one ball, and he's obviously showing pain with that broken hand of his because he smashed it a long way. It's a good hit. And he went for a ball that had a bit of angle on the leg stump, and he got under the bounce and smashed it. Good shot from Pocock.
Chasing Tate. Another shot at the stumps. He's gone. He knew it. Brilliant in the field. Oh, hang on. It's Starris.
Well, who did you expect? The man's unbelievable. Sensational innings from Starris. Chipped in with a wicket also. And now he hits one stump from 30 metres. Pocock cannot believe it. It has not been the Aces captain's final at all. He's gone for 7 run out. Brilliant. Look at that one stump. Almost impossible, but he pulls it off.
As good as it gets in that department. You don't think he's enjoying himself tonight? Under the lights, first time ever, coming up trumps. Says it all, gone for 7. And the Aces, 13 for 1.
Next in the hitman for the Aces, number 13, Wayne Inoka.
Want to talk about a pinch hitter? Wayne Inoka, strike rate of 210 with a highest score of 36.
Well, this is the genuine pinch hitter coming into play. Inoka didn't bat in the first innings, and he's here because of this amazing fielding from Scott Styris, who cannot do a thing wrong tonight. But Inoka's come to the crease with a job to do. He's got to go after the bowling in the first 5 overs and let Barnes play normal cricket. Keep the ball along the ground. Inoka can go for the strike rate. He must try and get around 250. And the Aces have got to really capitalise in this first 5 overs.
Well, they're on cue after 1 over in the run stakes, that is. Something around 13 or 14, 15 and over is what they require to put them back into it. But the wickets have got to be protected as well. Tough task. Just the odd wide tonight.
Well, we've seen a lot tonight, haven't we? No balls wides, probably more than any other match that we've televised this summer. And that's got to come down to the finals tension, the anxiety within the players, the determination to do well under pressure.
Business section of the final, second innings. He'll get another wide.
The bowlers really have been, in one way, encouraged by this very lively pitch, this good pitch. It's a pitch for everyone, but they've got carried away with it as well, and there's been far too much short bowling, far too much wayward direction.
Just tries to guide this one. A little bit slower from Jovic. The Aces came up with 2 no balls and 10 wides. In the first innings, the Knights 2 no balls, 3 wides.
Well, Inoka's come out as the pinch hitter to try and blast over the boundary. And there you see, that's his other option, just to try and glide it down and get off the mark. It makes sense to have a little look.
Confident shout, Bowden had a long look. Jovic, best in the max this season, normally picks up a couple of wickets each innings, went close.
Well, I thought he must have got an inside edge if he was to survive that. LBW appeal. Billy Bowden had a good look at it, but learning from last week, and this time he gives the batsman the benefit of the doubt. Missing off-hand leg, but hitting middle.
Jovic again. Inoka. Will it have enough legs on it? Styris is out there, can't keep him out of the game.
Aaron Barnes just trying to go over long off. It's getting inside out. And again, he hasn't got used to this pitch yet. So important that he just keeps the good form that he's shown all summer. 79 off 30 balls 2 weeks ago, 99 off 38. So he's in top form.
And this was set up going into the game as the big duel. The top guns of both departments, batting and bowling.
Well, they're the best in the league. Jovic, the bowler, Barnes, the batter. And Jovic is bending his back. He's getting a lot of pace out of this pitch and bounce. Barnes went out to meet it, but defeated.
This time, Barnes gets hold. Will send it all the way.
Talk about smooth strokes. This is a lot better execution from Barnes. Just look at the balance. He had the balance to swing through the ball, and that's why it went straighter and nearly went into the max zone. That's a terrific strike. Barnes 14 and 5 balls. He's starting to step it up a gear.
And again, they've picked up the challenge, on track with the runs. But they're not on track. The wickets are tumbling as well. They can't afford to lose him. Jovic comes up with a points decision, the best bowler against the best batter.
Jovic wins this round. Brilliant bowling from the youngster. Barnes taking too many risks. You could just feel that there was a lack of control in what he was trying to do out there. Anoka was the man to try and go for the boundary. Barnes getting in no position to hit that straight. Easy catch for Bailey. Jovic picks up his 29th wicket of the season. And that's a huge blow for the Northern Knights, because Barnes has gone for 14. The Aces are 28 for 2.
Number 6 is next for the Aces, Richard Jones.
Well, they've gone looking for some real stroke players. Billcliffe again. So used as another hitter. Managed just the 6 runs in the first innings. Straight away on deck. Have to turn and send Anoka back.
Good start from Billcliffe, but Jovic was the man. The amazing thing about Jovic is in getting all his wickets this year, he's only got 2 in one innings. That's the maximum he's got, and there he's got another. Bailey taking a good catch. Terrific line, terrific length. Aces 29 for 2.
Barnes tops the aggregates for the season with 538 runs. 3 times his name has appeared in the list of top 10 scorers for the season. 70 against Canterbury, 79 against the Stags, and an unbeaten 99 against Otago, along with an average of 38.43, propelled Barnes to the top spot.
Trailing still by 23. But unfortunately, with Barnes now gone, the Aces. Billcliffe just stepping away. Said somebody was making some moves or some changes in the field.
Well, there was too many outside the circle, and one of the Knights was quickly running into the 30-metre circle before the ball was bowled, so that there wasn't a no ball. Billcliffe was distracted by that and pulled away. That's fair enough.
Tuffy. He gets called for a wide.
Well, this 23-run deficit, 21 runs now because of that wide. It's really 1 over. The Aces need 1 big over, and that'll get them back. They'll have then 7 overs to try and get some sort of lead to set up for the Knights.
Tuffy followed him. He started to create a bit of room down the leg side. Totals building. But the concern is, after just 2 overs, the loss of 2 wickets. Does him beautifully.
Terrific delivery from Tuffy, and this just shows the type of pitch that we've got here at Westpac Trust Park. Bounce and a little bit of movement, and that's why when the Aces conceded 151, they really almost bowled themselves out of this final.
Came up with the goods in the first innings, and he starts well again in the second. Difference being between both sides tonight, the length maintained by the bowlers. Great determination. Shows the strain for some in a final, the pressure. Bilcliffe got there easy in the end, thought he might have to hurry.
Bilcliffe just trying to make too much of this delivery. It's too far outside the leg stump if you're wanting to get your weight back into the shot to hit it with the full face.
Anoka can't nail it. Tuffy let that one go down the leg side.
What amazes me, Graham, just so far in this innings by the Auckland Aces, they've lost Pocock and they've lost Barnes, but where's Craig Pryor? I mean, he was the man that's turned this round for Aces, or at least kept them in the game for some part with that brilliant innings of 47. He should be out there, and he should have come in for Anoka.
Terrific over.
What you've got out there is you've got batsmen that haven't scored yet in this final. They're trying to come to terms with the pitch, the bowling, which has been excellent from the Knights, and they're struggling. Still trailing by 17 runs. There's just 7 overs to go. They've got to get the men that have already shown that they've got the bottle for this final. Pryor's got to get out there.
Quick chat between Bilcliffe and Anoka. It's all about finding the max, which they haven't been able to do enough. And again, excellent bowling from Jovic. And plenty to say, just reminding him it is a final.
Well, this is a classic example of what I'm talking about. Anoka is not used to this pitch at all. He's a front footer, he can't play off the back foot, and he's got no idea how to play a very good short pitch delivery from Jovic, and Jovic, quite rightly, is telling him exactly that.
More of the same about to arrive for you. We'll have to hurry. Turns for the second.
Comes down to common sense and stability through the season, and you see that in the Knights. They're so organised, they've got everything down to a T. Their plan is very clear. The Aces, they keep chopping and changing things. You've seen it all season with the captains coming and going.
This time, Anoka inside that one in time. Still didn't get it the way he wanted. And Tate will just manage to get there to save at least 1 run.
Good work from Alex Tate. He's been under the weather with a bit of flu. But he's done well to chase this all the way to the boundary. Anoka getting it up on the splice. Climbing into a few of the young fans there, but still keeping composure.
Chance, surely. Only had to hit him. Anoka's slip. Ball had got away and Bilcliffe wanted another one.
Well, this is typical cricket, Max. You really got to take the singles, even when it goes straight to the man. But Anoka was gone there. He's not quick, obviously. And he's not balanced.
Skates were on. This time he looks to the max, though. Finally, something special for them. The Bay manages to find 8.
Well, I'll take my hat off to him. This is a good shot. See the balance there. He kept his head still and he was happy with it as soon as he struck it. And why wouldn't you be when you collect 8? Great concentration from the Max Zone attendant. Craig Pryor is itching to get out there.
trail by 3. Make it 2. So they're going to have 6 overs to set a target. 4 gone. And it is 50 for 2.
50 up for the Aces. They trail by 2. Brilliant night here as the home crowd enjoy the Knights' dominance. Pryor, 47 in that first innings, finished it off with absolute stunning batting. That 8 off the last ball. Andre Adams, he can hit it. Barnes disappointing. Pringle in the background has shown tension all night.
He still has 3 overs to be used up in the second innings, Pringle. Barnes disappointed about not managing a big score in the final. But he's been brilliant throughout the season. Man of the night so far, he's back. Styrus! What a welcome from Anoka. Helped it's on its way by a long way.
Well, Styrus gets some of his own medicine. He's dished out a lot to the Aces tonight. But this is a good pickup from Anoka. A little bit of line there to just swivel inside and put it up into the bank. Terrific batting.
Off to a flyer from the first ball of this over. Can they make this one the special over? Can they find a 25 off an over somewhere? 21 from just 11. Keep their cool, the Knights. They now lead by 4. They're on the right side of the ledger. Do they have enough overs left?
Well, they've got to make the most of this over. Last one inside the first 5 overs, just 2 men out. So Anoka's got to climb into it.
Wasn't holding back. Bailey trying to rush. Can't get there. Little bit of luck falling for the Aces. They haven't had much tonight.
Trying to go into the max zone, Anoka. Just getting it up in the splice again. The bounce of this pitch, too hard to handle.
They're all up. You know why? He's out of here. Full pitch. Thought he had something started at the beginning of this over. But Anoka gone for 23.
Well, you can't keep Scott Styrus out of it. This is a splendid delivery. Look at it, full and dead straight. Doug Cowie had an easy job there. Super slow-mo will show Styrus in good form with the ball. Head still. Seen bolt upright, hitting him right in front of middle. Anoka's gone. It was a good little cameo, but it might not be enough for the Aces. Anoka gone for 23, 58 for 3, the Auckland Aces.
Next in for the Aces, number 4, Craig Pryor.
Where there's hope, there's Pryor.
To right, 47 off 25 balls. He completely turned it around for the Aces. They were in dire straits in the opening overs, losing 3 quick wickets. But he showed a cool mind and a silky touch with the bat. He's a clever player in this type of cricket, Craig Pryor. And if the Aces can get something out of him again, they might just have a sniff.
Can somebody find a quick 50?
Not when Styrus is bowling like this. Sometimes in these grand finals, there's someone who just absolutely rises to the occasion.
He's got to come back and cut loose again in the second innings yet as well. Bilcliffe can't get hold of it. He's in trouble. Bailey just couldn't find the mark.
Well, Bilcliffe couldn't get it away because the ball was bang on middle stump again. Styrus has been absolutely dead-eye dick tonight.
Taking his time. Well, not where he wanted it. but it's rather valuable, the result. Styrus can't believe it, but at the end of 5, they've got it out to 64 for 3. Catch of the season so far. Wormsley with the catch that might just win it.
Who said fast bowlers can't catch? Unbelievable. Willie Watts and Danny Morrison out of their seats. They can't believe it.
So a 12-run advantage for the Auckland Aces. They've got 5 overs to improve on that. Willie Watson, a lot of work to do.
Oh, a lot of work. And hasn't got off to a good start because Ian Bilcliffe has called for a new bat. So obviously he's having a bit of trouble with the one at the moment. And the replacements, they've been turned back as well. So Lions here will have to go and do a little bit of bat searching. Bring out one that's still got plenty left in it. Plenty of runs left in it. Because that's what they need. Here's Richard Jones. He's saying, here, have mine. It's got plenty of runs in it.
Well, he doesn't this ground come up beautifully under lights. So this is the first time we've ever seen it here at Westpac Trust Park in Hamilton under lights. And goodness me, it's beautiful.
Well, I was interested in your theory, Grant, that the Shell Cup final should have been held under lights here. And with these portable lights, it opens up all sorts of options.
Bradburn, and this is away, and it's on its way down to the fence. He certainly aimed it at the other end of the park, but he'll take the 4 nonetheless.
Ace is just getting a little bit of luck turning their way here. First Pryor, now Bilcliffe. Edges, they need it, no doubt about that. It's got to turn their way if they're going to have a chance.
Man out there.
Yeah, with these portable lights, opens up all sorts of options. Can have the Shell Cup final under lights, no matter what association it's at. It's just glorious. The people at Hamilton are really enjoying it. Warm night.
These lights will get a bit of work when Super 12 starts. Starts next week, of course. Here's a big hit into the max zone, and that's the maximum.
Well, maximum hit there, 12 runs to Craig Pryor. He let himself down at the bowling crease, but he's making up for it with the bat. And a good straight hit. And they're just getting on a small roll here, the Aces. And hits like that, 12 runs, they're going to need a lead.
Goes again, he's going to be out. Guess who he's hit it to?
It's not that fella Styrus again. I might have guessed. Pryor can't believe it. He's disappointed. But he picked out the man perfectly. Styrus, no emotion. Must be becoming a little bit old hat now tonight for him. Pryor, a dangerous man, Pryor. He's gone for 17 off only 4 balls. Disappointed, but an error nevertheless. He really hit it well, but straight to the fielder. Styrus, who took a good catch, I thought. Didn't panic. And useful skills.
Disappointment for Craig Pryor. He disappears. Bradburn was the wicket taker, 17 off 4 balls. And the Aces are 81 for 4.
Hamish Barton, number 2, next in for the Aces.
Didn't get a bat in the first innings, Hamish Barton, but he's handy enough. Look at the strike rate, 169.
Well, I was there when he got that 50 versus Canterbury at Ericsson Stadium last year. And he was most impressive that night, almost a similar player to Craig Pryor. And I can't believe he hasn't been used more this season for the Aces in the max competition. But a chance for him tonight to do something, pull something out of the bag.
One off spinner to another. He started beautifully, slaps it away to the fence.
Yes, good start by Barton, right into his work straight away. Billy Bowden's in final mode tonight as well. First ball he receives, doesn't muck around. And a stylish square cut. Look at the concentration.
Bit of drift there for Bradburn, but Barton's got a fair bit on it. Gareth Hopkins is the specialist fielder, and he does a very good job as he cuts it down to 2.
Well, good skills by Hopkins here. Watch this. An edge from Barton. Looked like it was 4 at this stage. And Grant Bradburn can't believe that. Can't believe an edge has been taken off his bowling.
Aaron Barnes is joining us from down in front of the dressing room. And Aaron, a bit disappointing for you tonight.
Yeah, it didn't come off to what I wanted, but well, we're fighting back here, and if we can get an 80 or 90 lead, well, the pressure will go on. Yeah,
absolutely. A lead of 35 at the moment with 4 overs to go, so there's still a good 50 or 60 runs available.
Yeah, well, of course we've got a big hitter up our sleeve, and Chris Pringle coming in soon, so hopefully he'll be able to hit a couple into the max zone and get us up to that 80 or 90.
What's the track like, Aaron?
It's quite quick actually tonight. We had a look at it earlier on, and we thought it might play a bit slower, but it's obviously coming on, and it's their guys are out there showing it now.
Okay, well here's Matthew Hart now coming into the attack. Good move here by Robbie Hart just to slow it down a little, Willie.
Yes, it is good thinking, and Robbie Hart knows how his brother bowls.
Looking for the max zone. He's going to find it. That's a good strike.
Big Bowes having a great night tonight in the max zone. And a good hit by Bill Cliff. He's coming into his zone. Him and Barton just starting to get a bit of a partnership going. Strong man, Bill Cliff.
That was an 8. You're not sure where this has gone.
Aaron, I was just wondering, did you enjoy the lights, the atmosphere of that?
Oh yeah, it's I mean the lighting in the crowd's just it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's great. It's great to be out here, and it's great to start getting back into the game. Hopefully, Willie.
Another run taken here by Ian Bilcliffe. Aaron, how do you get away with playing cricket on your honeymoon, mate?
Well, Pam's actually joined me tonight. She's over in the quarter trying supporting us. So yeah, I actually did quite well, I think.
You did very well.
He's got off to a great start.
That's a lead now of 44 runs for the Aces. We're halfway through the 7th over. Well, Willie, if they can set a target of 80 or 90, we've got a game on our hands. Oh dear, that very nearly crept through.
Yeah, well, yeah, 70, definitely it's got to be at least 70, I'd think. The Aces, they didn't bowl on the first inning, so they're going to come out firing. They won't bowl like that again. I'm pretty confident of that.
Hamish Barton gives himself room. He goes for the max zone, and he finds a 2.
Bo Mativa gets it on the egg. And his signals are far better than Billy Bowden's, no doubt about that. But Hamish Barton, where has he been all season? I saw him bat in Ericsson Stadium earlier last year, and I just like the way he strikes the ball straight down the ground. Look at that. Nothing wrong with that. Signals.
A lead of 52. He made that look pretty wide by stepping away, but not a bad over all the same for the Auckland Aces. So 7 gone. They're 104 for 4, which means a lead of 52.
Aaron, I suppose when the side goes out on the field, you'll be hoping for a total around about 70, and the boys will be throwing everything at it.
Oh yeah, of course. We didn't really bowl well in the first innings, and anything can happen when you get a lead of 80 or 90, and I think guys are doing quite well at the moment, Willie.
Yeah, they look like they're hitting it well. Hamish Barton especially, and there seems to be a little bit of spice in the game tonight, Aaron.
Yeah, I think Indy sort of showed us how to bowl in their first innings, and hopefully we can go out there and do the same as what they did in the first innings and put real pressure on them.
Well, the Aces certainly batting better in their second innings. They're 104 for 4 after 7. That was after making only 99 in their first dig. Well, this is what they need. They need plenty of max hits, William. We saw 2 in that previous over. So here's Daryl Tuffy. False alarm.
So 3 more overs for the Aces. They lead by 52 runs, a crucial 3 overs for the Aces. The whole final hinges on these next 3 overs, especially for the Aces, for both teams. And plenty of protection for the max zone from the Knights.
Let's go, says Barton, leading the charge. Bit of a foot race there with Daryl Tuffy, and believe it or not, that's a leg by.
Tuffy straight into the pads. Really a free hit on leg stump, couldn't get it away. Tangle there.
So he bowled a couple in the first innings. That's not bad for 14. Very promising bowler, Daryl Tuffy. Gets it down from a good height. And he's given away a couple here.
Well, yeah, I'm fairly sure that's a no ball. Tuffy here has just taken a leaf out of the Auckland Aces bowling, and he's dug it in short. Shows you what pace this wicket's got, and it's given Barton a bit of a hurry up, but unfortunately it's a no ball, and Barton gets a free hit off this next ball. So, a bit of an experience here from Tuffy.
Well, he couldn't do anything with it.
And he replied with a good delivery. Barton lining himself up for that free hit. But it was pretty quick from Tuffy, pitched up. It's not every day you come to the crease and get a free hit. Only in Cricket Max.
He's doing a good job. 14 off 7. Picks this up and sends it away. Heading towards the boundary. I don't think they'll pull it back. They won't.
Yeah, well, I like that look of Barton, and I'm surprised he's not up the order for the Aces. He's come in here, his first ball he hit for 4, and he's immediately shown the capacity to find the gaps and hit boundaries. And when you're batting, that's usually quite a good sign. It's a good attribute. He's brought urgency.
Oh dear, that's getting a bit close to high too. You have to think about that.
Well, that is, and Billy Bowden gave it the half turn there. And yes, he's having a look over at Doug Cowie, having a little smile with each other. Probably saying, well, that's pretty close, Doug. Let's have a look. Short from Tuffy. Oh, just on the borderline.
Away he goes again. He'll get another boundary. He fires everything at it.
Barton continuing to impress here. What a strike rate, 220. Look here, he treats over to the left-hand side, gives himself room, and that enables him to free his arms and get a lot of bat on it. Tuffy's going to be disappointed here. He's got a smile and saying something like, well, I can't believe this is happening.
Tied him up on leg stump, chased him.
This is good bowling. Tuffy's learned his lesson here. Barton's been moving across the left-hand side the whole night. So he's guessed that he's going to do it again and aim for there and really cramped him up. And he said something, got you that time, Hamish. You'll have to try something different.
2 overs for the Auckland Aces to increase that advantage they have. 61. They batted pretty well in their second innings, but they needed 2 big ones to finish.
Yeah, well, I said they had to get to 70. I think they'll do that. So, assuming they get up to, say, around about 80, and with the Aces bowling side, mind you, they didn't bowl well in the first innings. There's going to be pressure on them. They'll have to come out firing. Pringle will have to lead from the front.
Prime candidate for man of the match, Scott Styrus. Oh, now that's a bit high. How are they going to call this? It doesn't really matter much. It's a no ball. Robbie Hart's coughed it up anyway.
Umpire Doug Cowie had a look over at square leg as other umpire Billy Bowden, who'd called the no ball. And And it's a full toss from Styrus. Yes, clearly a no ball there. It's a good call by Bowden. And it's all for nothing anyway. Tuffy not able to get underneath that one.
Yeah, Daryl Tuffy doesn't really look like Robbie Hart, does he? Plus, he hasn't got gloves on.
Well, he's not the captain for starters.
No. Good looking shot from Barton. He should get a couple here if they go quickly. And they do go quickly. Billcliffe having to scramble. Oh, I've hit the stumps. Now, of course, in cricket, Max, you can't run after the ball has struck the stumps. A pretty good rule, that.
Well, it is. And whoever thought that up knows a bit about the game. But Diver, what an excellent return from the outfield. Picks it up. There's been some good throws in tonight. Bounce throw, skids off. And as soon as it hit the stumps, cricket Max, of course, no other runs can be taken.
Yeah, you shouldn't be penalised for good cricket, will he, should you?
No, you should be rewarded.
Exactly. Good tight delivery from Styrus. He's tidied it up after the loose opener to this over.
Yeah, he really loves playing through the offside, Hamish Barton, and we saw Tuffy click onto that the last ball last over and cramped him up on leg stump. And he's got some interesting reactions sometimes, old Scotty Styrus, hasn't he?
Some nice facial expressions.
Yes, he has. I suppose when you play like him tonight, we can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, he's banged this. He's got plenty on it.
Doug Cowie going upstairs. He's going to have a look at this one. I think it's 4 runs. And that's been signalled there. Gives you an indication. Aaron Barnes said how well the wicket was playing. Well, this gives you another indication. Billcliffe's got a lot on this. That ball's really come onto the bat. And just inside the boundary line. 4 runs.
Concedes another single. Styrus happy to do that as the lead climbs up to 70 now.
Yeah, well, that's just getting into that area. It's a total you can bowl at, Grant, and the ball really is in the hands of Pringle, Walmsley, Adams, I suppose. They've got to come up with the goods now for the Aces. Their batsmen have replied.
Barton's batted well. He's found another gap, and he'll get back for another one. So that's another 2 as Matthew Hart has to do the fielding. And the lead is 72. They could have a big last over here, Willie, and conceivably it could end up being a lead of 90.
Oh, most definitely. Again, Barton going through the offside. Can the Northern Knights bring it into his leg stump, cramp him up a bit?
Well, he seems to be able to get it away from anywhere. And he gets 4 down to third man to finish the over. Styrus can't believe it. And 1 to go. The lead is 76.
Well, Styrus actually got this right, in my opinion. He cramped him up, went in for leg stump, but Barton got enough bat on it, a little bit of luck. And but he deserves some of that tonight. And he looked out, he thought he'd gone down that, so that's 4 runs. Well, Scotty, I wouldn't complain. That's about the only thing that hasn't gone right for you tonight. And the Aces had a slow reply. Barnes and Pocock were out early. Anoka showed glimpses of form. But the partnership, Billcliffe and Barton, especially Barton, showing real form, and they're bringing the Aces right back into this game. They're certainly going to have a total to bowl at. And what that will be depends a lot on the last over. Bowled by this man, Alex Tate.
Well, he started with 2 wickets in his first over, Alex Tate. How could he finish? He starts with a full toss and gets away with it. Very lucky.
Yes, it was really in the slot there, and interesting to see this one actually swung in, dipped in. Tate can move the ball both ways.
Oh, stopped it by accident.
He's a fairly relaxed guy, Alex Tate. Doesn't get too emotional. I think he stopped that one with his foot. Let's have a look. It was hit back very hard by Barton. And there's another signal from Billy. I wonder what that one means.
I can think of a few things. Barton looking to pierce the offside field, but this is a pretty tidy over from Alex Tate. He's keeping it right up there.
Yes, he is. He's almost bowling low full tosses, which can be hard to get away. What a good man to have bowling that last over in a final, Tate.
Looking for the max zone, and Jovic does well to keep it out. And in the end, they only get one run. You would have imagined they would have tried a second there.
What a man to have down patrolling the max zone. Joseph Jovic, very athletic man. Stops it and actually throws on while he's still on the ground, both knees. What a skill.
Barton finds the gap this time, the one he looked for earlier. Bradburn doing his best, and they should be able to make it for 3. And we've come down to the last ball for the Auckland Aces.
And I'm sorry, I've got to ask the question why Barton wasn't used in the first innings. And I just like the way he bats. He's a good cricketer. He's brought the Aces right back in this game, 82. That's a total to bowl at least. It's not a 30 or 40 run lead, it's a decent lead.
Bill Clip, oh, he snuck it away. He's going to get 4. He aimed it down the other end of the ground, but they pick up the 4 runs, the Aces, off the last ball, and they go to a lead of...
Well, the party continues here in Hamilton, but the locals will know they have now got a big fight on their hands. Magnificent batting performance by the Auckland Aces. They needed to show a little bit of spine second time round, and they did. Got through to 138 for 4. Billy Bowden's been the centre of attention with those flamboyant signals tonight, and he's made the right decisions on more occasions than he hasn't. The Auckland Aces, they didn't get off to a great start again. The kingpin, Aaron Barnes, might be his honeymoon, but it hasn't been his honeymoon with the bat, that's for sure. He's missed out twice here in the grand final, but useful contributions from Anoka, Bill Cliff. Prior's had a good game, good double for him, and Hamish Barton at the end. Bowling performance by the Northern Knights, been pretty consistent, but they just got away a wee bit, the Auckland Aces, on them. For the first time, they showed signs of a little bit of pressure on them, and in particular at the end, they are very costly indeed. So as a result of that, the Auckland Aces have given themselves a chance. And one man who's particularly interested in the outcome of this, a man he's got another hat during the week, coach of Gloucester, John Bracewell. John, tell us about the career move first of all.
Yeah, well, it's just an opportunity to get full-time coaching really in regards to coaching teams. In New Zealand, that's not really available to us. I saw an advertisement in the paper about 4 months ago, and I thought, I'll have a punt at this, and I didn't hear from them for 3 months. So I just flagged it, and then all of a sudden they rang me up and said, can you get over next week for an interview? And so it's happened very quickly.
And you must start pretty shortly too.
Yeah, I'm away on the 22nd of March, so you know, it doesn't give much time, and I don't really know much about the side, except you know, they're a young side full of enthusiasm. And I only got that from John Wright.
Well, speaking of young side and back to the present now, this is a young Auckland side you've got, but they showed a lot of fight there that second time round with the bat.
Yeah, well, it's an entertainment game, and they had nothing to lose. I think they were a little nervous in the first session or innings, and it's a big occasion for young fellas on TV, and good crowd and a lot of atmosphere. And when they decided, oh, well, let's just have a crack, that's probably what they should have done an hour before.
Well, you're a hard man to impress at the best of times. You'd be impressed with what you see here tonight in Hamilton.
Yeah, well, I've only ever seen 3 games of Max, to be honest, and other than 3 I've been involved in lately, and there's a bit of a buzz for the guys. You know, they get charged up, the people get charged up, and it's an entertainment game. Let's get into it, and people have enjoyed it.
Okay, then, do you back your fellas to get up here?
Well, if they bowl straighter and fuller than they did in the first innings, with a little bit more control and less emotion, then yeah, I think that they've got a chance.
Okay, John, all the best for that job in Gloucester too.
Thanks, Ian.
Well, that's John Bracewell, the Auckland manager, a man of many hats at the moment. He's very impressed second time round with the Auckland Aces. They had to show a little bit of fight, and fight they did.
Straight into it. Heavens, they got away with it. Hancock chasing Tate. Another shot at the stumps. He's gone. He knew it. Brilliant in the field. will send it all the way. But they're not on track. The wickets are tumbling as well. This time he looks to the max, though. Finally, something special for them. Man of the night so far, he's back. Styrus. What a welcome from Anoka. They're all up. You know why he's out of here.
There's a big hit into the max zone, and that's the maximum. Goes again. He's going to be out. One off spinner to another. He started beautifully. Slaps it away to the fence. Looking for the max zone. He's going to find it. Hamish Barton gives himself room. He goes for the max zone. Picks this up and sends it away. Away he goes again. He'll get another boundary. Oh, he's banked this. He's got plenty on it. The boy snuck it away. He's going to get 4.
Very impressive fighting performance by the Auckland Aces that time round with the bat. 86 they have lead by now. 87, the Devils' number on Australia. Will it be the Devils' number here in Hamilton tonight for the Northern Knights as they seek to double up in the trophy cabinet? Magnificent party atmosphere and music's blaring, but the pressure is on. That's what grand finals are all about. Those Auckland players in the background there, they may have said a thing or two to Mark Bailey as he walked past, certainly to Scott Styrus. Probably be betting you can't do it again. Well, I wouldn't bet against him. He's got the golden touch here tonight. Will he be able to back up? And will Mark Bailey come off? Or will this side, as they group together now, show the same steel in the field they showed with the bat second time around? It's going to be a very interesting last stanza to this grand final of 1998 to take you through the first 5 overs. Martin Crowe and Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Ian. There he is, the man who has really held sway in this grand final, Scott Styrus, outstanding with the bat. 72 in the first innings. He's taking wickets, he's taking catches, and he's got run-outs. Quite brilliant. But can he lead the Northern Knights to this grand final win? 87 is the number. Aaron Barnes, he's failed with the bat. This time he says to his captain Pocock, give me the ball. Blair Pocock in the middle of drama here. He's got a big job to do with his bowlers. And John Bracewell was right, Grant. Get rid of the emotion, bowl fuller and bowl straighter.
Well, they know now they've got a chance. They've probably felt in their heart of hearts at the end of the first innings that they've pretty much let the game slip, but they've come back so strongly here that they do have a chance to win, and particularly if they can get a couple of early wickets. Styrus is a key man, obviously, and Martin, a note just passed to us here. Northern District's Knights needed 95 to win against Auckland at Ericsson Stadium. A similar total, really. Made 84.
Well, they couldn't get up, and it was because of one man, Chris Pringle. He's got 3 overs left.
Yeah! Barnes has got straight through. Look at that. Unbelievable.
What a start for the Aces in this last innings. Barnes goes straight through, the hero of the night so far, Scott Styrus, with a stunning delivery. Unbelievable Yorker. First delivery, and Styrus knows it. Head down. The death knell, the rattle, as Barnes pulls up a beauty. You can't bowl better than that.
Full and straight, said John Bracewell. So what does Aaron Barnes do?
Now you can show the emotion when you get the result that the team wanted. Perfect start. Styrus has gone first ball. And the Knights have lost their first without a run on the board.
Next in for the Knights, number 5, Michael Parlane.
The big angry grizzly bear comes out. A brilliant first innings from him. And do the Knights need him now to just get a little bit of control back? The tension is really building here at the Westpac Trust Park. And it's because of this. It's because Barnes has come up with a rip snorter. He sent the danger man Styrus on his way. Well, it's all on.
Incredible. 72 he got in the first innings, Styrus. Out first ball in the second. Now it's Barnes to the new man. He's pitched it up again. They've got a chance if he hits. Oh dear.
Fielding's going to play an important part in this last innings. Key man is Mark Bailey. He was out first ball in the Knights' first innings. Now that Styrus gone, he becomes the key man. A lot of experience, Bailey.
Well, look at the movement that Barnes is getting. Good keeping too by Lyon, standing up there, intimidating the batsman. He's bowling at a reasonable pace, Aaron Barnes.
But he's bowling full, and that's why you get to swing the ball inside the wide zone lines. It's a lot easier to bowl straighter when you bowl fuller.
Oh, what a beauty again. Well, did he get a little inside edge?
Well, he must have. This was right on target. Oh, I think he's just got a little inside edge, and that saved him. Bailey nearly gone for a pair.
Yep, certainly bat on ball, but he struggled to keep it out. Barnes may not have been able to do it with the bat today, but he's certainly come back with the ball. We slipped away down leg side, and that's a gimme. That sails away for 4 and just breaks the tension a little. You can hear the crowd.
Big crowd here, between 5,000 and 6,000, really lapping up this atmosphere. But a little tense, I feel, Grant. A little tense. 87 to win. It doesn't seem much, particularly when you've smashed 151 in the first innings.
Historically, in cricket, Max, the team batting fourth does struggle, Martin.
Well, that's right. I think about 65% of most sides that win bat first. And there's a bit of humidity in the air. End of the first over, the Knights are 5 for 1.
You can't go past a century in any form of cricket. Last season, Craig McMillan scored 103 not out. This year belongs to the Otago Bolts' Chris Gaffney, 100 not out against Canterbury early in December. Not much of him, Chris Gaffney, but by crikey, he can give it a nudge.
Well, that was one of the best highlights of the season for me, that 100 at Lancaster Park. But this could turn out to be the real highlight. The grand final. 1 over gone, the Knights 5 for 1. They've lost Styrus. Kerry Walmsley to start.
Trotted away by Parlane. Walmsley needs to bowl with control. He lost it a wee bit in the first innings.
That was a good innings too, that 36. The interesting tactics for me in this game will be what will the Aces do with their bowling. They've got Chris Pringle with 3 overs up his sleeve. He's a key man. He went for a few in that first over, but someone else has got to come through, and maybe it's Walmsley.
Good pace from Walmsley, just a little wide. Not signalled though. Well, I think Pocock will keep him out as long as he can. And if it comes right down to the death, that's when Pringle's at his very best.
Well, it certainly is. But he needs support at the other end, and Walmsley started in good fashion. Gee, that's a good ball, that. Fast and straight and not too short.
Nothing wrong with that one either.
Well, you get the feeling, don't you? The Aces now have finally got the focus. It's taken them almost to the third innings to get some sort of concentration and focus and poise. And John Bracewell was spot on when he said to Ian Smith just prior to this innings, you've got to bowl straighter and fuller and get the emotion out of the system.
Oh dear, difficult, but if he'd grabbed it, it was Chris Pringle, that would have been a big wicket.
Well, he's done pretty well really to get a mitt on it. It was well struck by Bailey. Saving runs really, Chris Pringle. You wouldn't expect him to pull in a catch like that. But it all adds up for the Aces, the mounting pressure on the Knights.
That's going down leg side, but it's another dot ball.
You never know with Billy Bowden whether he's got a new signal, or whether it's just a bit of tidying up. But he's been in top form tonight, Billy Bowden. In his element, under lights here in the Waikato.
Another dot ball. Well, the captain couldn't ask for anything better than that from Kerry Walmsley. 2 overs gone, 7 for 1, and bowling at good pace.
Well, that's one of the best overs of the final so far. Just 2 runs off that over. Walmsley outstanding there. The Knights need 80 off 8. That's 10 and over. That's a simple equation, but it's not so simple to get. Not when you're batting last, and not when it's the grand final. Although Mark Greatbatch might disagree.
Exactly. We've had 2 terrific grand finals so far. He'll ever forget that match at Napier last year. Now, the man of the moment, Aaron Barnes. Lovely shot from Bailey, parried away, and that's the first decisive blow from the Northern Knights.
We've seen some great shots tonight, some big hits, but we've not seen a shot timed as well as this from Bailey. Such classical poise. One of the best shots for me tonight. Just look at the stroke and admire it.
He'll look for a couple here. Hamish Barton's got a lot of ground to make. Plenty of encouragement from the Auckland Aces. The wicketkeeper calling the shots, Brendan Lyon. Squeezes it out. Oh, plays it well. Big charge on here. Can't make it.
Well, this is pretty well played because it's full and it's swung a little. And look at Bailey, a little bit of a shimmy with the back foot and just guiding it down to third man. Craig Pryor slipped and Barnes is not happy. Good cricket. Bailey showing that he's going to stand up in the second innings, having got a first ball duck. 15 off 10.
Well, where's this gone? Well, he's got it away for 4. Big over here for the Northern Knights.
Well, there's been plenty of streaky boundaries tonight, and the Aces have had a fair share of them. This time, Bailey trying to go onside, gets turned around like a can of beans, and Barnes, head in the air, frustrated.
Off the pad this time. Leg by from Doug Cowie. But how quickly the fortunes can change after his first over. And now into his second. That's well bowled. So there we are, 3 overs gone, 22 for 1. So they still need 65 runs from 42 deliveries. Still evenly balanced.
Well, that was a little bit of relief for the Knights. Bailey was able to peel off 3 boundaries, and that was just what they needed because they were faltering. Every over is just going to have a new little angle to it. Walmsley started with a cracker. He only conceded 2 in that first over of his. He's back on for this 4th over of the Knights' innings. But when is Pringle going to come on?
Has to be shortly. He's got 3 to go. That was a little bit of bat and a little bit of pad, I suspect.
You did right, Grant. Just a little bit of that inside edge. It's so important now for both sides that no mistakes are made. You can't afford to concede too many from the Aces' point of view. The final will go in 1 over. And for the Knights' point of view, they can't afford to lose wickets.
Keeps it well up, says wait. Wow.
Conscious, really, of not wanting to be run out. Took the cautious option. And understandable in many ways. It's important for Parlane to just wait for the bad ball. Walmsley's come back well in the second innings.
Goes long and hard. What a good hit.
What a courageous shot. What a blow for the Knights. The big man Walmsley's been smoked high and hard. That's gone a long way.
Just wide of the max zone. The max attendant had a very good look at it. And he just missed picking up a double.
Terrific shot from Michael Parlane. So poised in the execution.
Oh dear. Apologies all round. It slipped from Walmsley.
This is the pressure that's all of a sudden gone on to Kerry Walmsley. He's been hit for a big 6. Parlane playing so courageously, and now the pressure's starting to tell. You can see it, the tension, the losing of control, the grip just falling there for Walmsley. Parlane has the ascendancy right now.
It's a humid night in Hamilton. See the sweat on the forearms of Kerry Walmsley.
Expressionless.
Oh, this is a marvelous shot.
Stand up, Hamilton. You've just seen the best shot of the night. Maximum. Parlane has played, well, the best shot of the season for me. Look at this, down the wicket. Absolutely out of the screws. I'm going to have to say that is sensational.
Is that the one shot that wins the final for the Northern Knights? Here's an attempted repeat. He's going to find the max zone again.
Unbelievable from Parlane. He's absolutely taking this grand final all the way for the Knights. This big over from Walmsley. He conceded 2 in just his first over. Now he's gone for 27 and he's still got a ball to go. $25,000 written all over those shots.
Huge blows from Parlane. Bit of an anti-climax to finish the over, but the damage done by Michael Parlane as he gets it to 50 at the end of over number 4.
Well, extraordinary, it really is. There's a lot of tension out there, you can see it. Walmsley under the gun. But the courage of Parlane to go down the wicket, hit him for 6, then a 12, then an 8 in 1 over. You won't see better hitting than that. Talk about great batch. Stand up, Michael Parlane.
Well, that's the thing about the Northern Knights. They've always had somebody through the season who's come through. Now back to Aaron Barnes we go. And he bowls a beauty.
And where's Pringle? Surely Chris Pringle, the man handing the ball to Barnes, has to come into the attack.
It's too late, isn't it?
It's far too late. He had to come on for this over. Wickets now the only thing that are going to help the Aces. 37 from 35 balls. It's a cakewalk for the Knights.
Or is it? Whoops. Barnes is back in the first over mode. Getting it up there, a little bit of swing. There's a chance, Potter's got him. Barnes has done it.
Well, the bear's gone. Parlane. Fantastic innings at 29. Just trying a little bit too clever shot there. He played a delightful one in the first innings. It didn't come off in the second. Potter took an easy catch. Barnes keeps the Aces in the hunt.
The little paddle round the corner. And Potter, who's taken some wonderful catches during cricket, Max, that's one of the easier ones for him. He was never going to miss it. Barnes has done a wonderful job in the second innings. He really didn't have to play that shot. He could have given it the full swing of the bat. But he's done his job, Michael Parlane. He can sit down satisfied with his effort. He got 29. It's 50 for 2.
Alex Tate, number 13 for the Knights.
The miracle man, Alex Tate. 12 in the first innings. He came in late in the piece. He got plenty of wickets when he bowled, but he's there because Parlane got into a bit of a tangle, tried to do too much, and the Aces get a little sniff. But even now, 37 runs from 33 balls. Surely the Aces can't come back from this.
That's another good delivery. Barnes has really come back well here. His first over was a cracker. He got a bit of punishment in his second. But look at this. The old story of keep it well up and straight.
Good length from Barnes. It was full. 37 from 32.
Just the one run for Mark Bailey. They're really having to work, the Northern Knights. Remember, in the 2 previous matches between these 2 sides this season, the Aces have taken the honours.
It could go down to the wire. Barnes, last ball of his third over, has done a great job. 2 for 20.
Well, that's a funny old shot from Alex Tate. We'll have to see what the umpire has to say here. He says leg by. So, let's have another look here. Aaron Barnes. I think it missed everything, did it?
No, it's a great ball, that. Right up on the block hole. Barnes has got the look of a tiger. He's trying to keep his side in this game. Northern Knights 52 for 2.
There was only one choice as batsman of the year, Aaron Barnes. 538 runs, the leading scorer. 38.43, the best average. A strike rate of 209, the second best in the league. And a top score, 99 not out, topped only by Chris Gaffney's 100. Leaves Barnes the standout performer in Cricket Max this year.
No doubt about that, Graham Hughes and Willie Watson's to see you through to the finish of the final. At 98-52 for 2. Terrific, not so much with the bat tonight, but with the ball, Barnes.
Well, he's a useful all-rounder, Aaron Barnes. And all in this man's hand now. Chris Pringle, if the ace is going to have a chance, he's got to come through with one of the performances we know he's capable of. And he's taking time to set his field. Was captain of the Aces this year. So much on his shoulders. He can do it. He's got the ability, no doubt about that. But he's bowling against a guy who's come on recently, Alex Tate, who's got a lot of ability as well.
Not a final signature on that $25,000 check yet. This is it, crunch time. Pringle and Tate. Starts well, gets away from everybody, though. What a bonus for the Knights.
A lot of runs tonight in the final down in the third man region. Gives an indication of the pace of the wicket. Pringle straight in with the off spinner straight away. He's going to bowl a lot of those tonight. Tate lucky to get something on that. Got the inside thigh. Run rate required 6.8. That's not huge.
But it's a final. There's still plenty of nerves out there. Tate after him. He might have him. He's got Tate.
Hamish Barton out there at point takes the catch. Pringle's not emotional about it. The Aces, it's almost as if they're resigned. They should be jumping with joy. They've got rid of the danger man for a duck.
They've gone rather quiet here in Hamilton for just a moment because Pringle still trying to claw the Aces back into the final.
Boy, that's right, and he's done what he's asked to do. Got rid of Tate. Barton comes around and takes the catch. Pringle the off spinner. Take home for the glory hit. They only need one a ball. Sort of wonder at that. Pringle, he's nonplussed really. But the Aces have got a chance. They should be encouraging each other, getting right into it.
Taking them a long time to settle in the final, but Tate gone. Danger man. 54 for 3. Hart up next.
Matthew Hart, number 10, next in for the Knights.
It's called pressure in a final, and it shows they should not lose it from here. But the big but is Pringle.
Well, it's right there in front of us, Graham, on a screen. 33 runs from 28 balls. That requires nothing stupid, just plain sensible cricket.
Makes you wonder about the 28 extras served up by the Aces in the first innings. They've been an over or an over and a half behind right throughout the night. Can they get there? Bailey just playing properly. It's all that's required from him.
Well, Bailey missed out on the first innings. And like any good batsman who misses out on one innings, he's determined to do well in the second. And the only way he'll redeem himself is to see the Knights through to collecting up that check.
Really waited on it. When looking for this one, it's got to be on the back of their minds that do we just take it easy with Pringle, try and milk it from the other end?
Well, they're giving them every chance, aren't they? Bailey decides to come down the wicket. And they've got a man out there as well, the Aces, on the square leg boundary. So interesting tactics. There it is, 1.19 runs per ball. Plenty of gaps in the field. Good wicket, good pace.
They've got Bailey now. He can't believe it. And And there is a little bit of a stagger. A little bit of a stagger in the step of the favourites.
And more smiles than the Aces line up there to get hold of Bailey. 13 from 18 balls. Yeah, they're more turbulent now. Even fellas with 23 on the back of your head. Bailey giving himself room, a high risk shot. Adams takes it off the grass. Good catch by him.
And it is Pringle. All the change-ups that he serves in Max, that one set up nice and high. Not Adams, but on this occasion, Andre the Giant snaddles it.
Second thoughts now, must be in the Knights camp. Pringle happy now.
Bailey disappears for 23. And the Knights at 56 for 4.
And next for the Knights, Alex O'Dowd, number 16.
Alex O'Dowd, who it must be said, has gone from opener to low in the batting order. And for O'Dowd, it's been a struggle to try and find runs in recent matches.
Well, it has, but higher score there, 58 versus Otago on this very ground. And he's played against a lot of his old teammates. Former Auckland player, Alex O'Dowd. But a real chance for him to redeem something from the Max competition. And in fact, he's up against his old club mate, Chris Pringle, and Billy Bowden used to play in the same team, so three of them together.
Just confidently off the mark. But Pringle gets in there, grabs a couple of guns, 2 crucial wickets that opens up some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, they were gone. The Aces were gone before Pringle came on. They had no spirit in their side. Those wickets lifted it up. The crowd, they got a little bit quieter, the local crowd. They realise, hey, it's not a foregone conclusion, but they've come out in force tonight. Captain Blair Pocock, he realises there's a chance on as well. Got to throw themselves at everything, the Aces.
A lot of pressure on his shoulders, Willie, because he's got to take some risks. Got to probably keep a couple of fieldsmen inside the circle to shore up a few runs.
Well, I think he should, no doubt about that. Make the batsman hit over the top. Potter's going to come on to bowl. He's getting a lot of wickets in club competition. Make the ND, the Northern Knights batsman, hit over the top and hope for the mistakes.
One of the better performers late in that first effort from the Aces. But as Martin Crowe mentioned earlier, it just can't be Pringle. Somebody else has got to stick the hand up. Somebody else has got to grab a couple of wickets. Is it Potter?
Well, that's right. He's got to take Drum's place. Chris Drum not playing tonight, so Potter's got to put his hand up and say, well, I'm going to do the job he did.
Well, he's taken a couple of hat-tricks in recent club games. Wouldn't that make them go quiet in Hamilton? Just about. Wrong sort of start. No one was expecting this.
Well, Martin Crowe mentioned tonight the community's coming in and Barnes was getting it to swing, and this one's really gone. Potter's disappointed at himself, but he's got to allow a lot more if he's going to try and swing it that much. Poor old Lions, wicketkeeper standing up, didn't have a chance.
The Knights looking for one big over. They'll get a couple more. Big chase for Pryor and Adams.
Well, bad bowling by Potter, directing a leg side attack, and into Alex O'Dowd. Should be bowling at that off stump, and this time, this kind of final, it's crucial to get that off stump.
They get a good start to this over. Mightn't be a bad idea to really launch into it now to try and win the final right here without having to go to Pringle. Good effort, good ball coming back from Potter. Won't go back for a second this time.
Well, there's two ways of playing it, isn't there? You can take it right down to the wire, right down to the last ball, or you can take a few chances if the bad balls come along and try and get on top of a bowler like Potter, who looks to be struggling to get into rhythm, get into line and length.
inches away from dragging that on. Potter. So disappointed with it. The final is still on. Hart. Thought about a single, would have been suicide.
Matthew Hart's an experienced player, and he's a genuine all-rounder. He's played international cricket. He knows what pressure's about. He's played test matches, one-dayers. No stranger to this kind of high-intensity situation. You have a clear idea of that equation. 23 runs from 21 balls.
Hart to go to the deep. It'll fall safely, but just a couple.
Well, Hart's still playing aggressively, and if the ball's there to be hit, he's going to go for it. So still a positive approach from the Knights. I had my heart in my mouth for a while there. I thought he'd hit it straight down his neck. He got enough on it to get it wide of the fieldsman.
Super shot. Gave himself some room, really hammered it away. Unfortunately for him, straight to Adams.
Yeah, well, he would have thought this was 4 here, Matthew Hart. Hit it too well and unfortunately picked out Adams. Half a yard either side, that was into the fence. And also, actually played that one off middle and off. Exposed all 3 stumps.
Important last ball of this 7th over. Keeps it to a single. Still with plenty of interest. Here comes Pringle. Not happy. Not happy with letting a couple get away, but O'Dowd and Hart with some serious stuff out in the middle.
Yeah, well, I'm going to guess what they just said there, Graham. They probably said, well, let's look for one off Pringle, not take any risk against him, and we'll take our chances who's at the other end. They realise that perhaps to take a big risk against Pringle, you could lose your wicket. They see him as a danger man.
Well, if he comes up, if Pringle comes up with another 2-wicket over, look out.
Mind you, Joseph Jovic hasn't batted yet.
Wouldn't like to be coming in trying to search.
Robbie Hart, still good players.
Anything around 8 off the last over would be fascinating if there's a couple of wickets stumbling along the way. First time ever, night of history in Hamilton, and a final that's not done with. Great crowd in, and Pringle trying to save it for the Aces, who have been out of the final for so long tonight.
Well, he's finally got the field he wanted. He took a lot of time, Chris Pringle, with Blair Pocock to set the field.
Hart happy with the single.
And Pringle came round the wicket to the left-hander, trying to hang off back in, cramp him up. He'll go back to over the wicket for the right-hander O'Dowd. He takes a lot of time setting his field, Chris Pringle. Looks round, knows exactly where all his men are.
Thought about it. Great support from Lyon, and Pringle was there as well. Keeps his cool, taking his time going back to the mark.
Well, they've come alive, the Aces. They've got a real urgency in their fielding now. Wasn't there a couple of overs ago. There's nothing like $25,000 at the end of it, I suppose, to break into a trot.
So often in a final you see one side struggle to really get into rhythm early in the game. That was the Aces. Have they left it too late? Milking it, but only for the single. Pryor.
Yes, that's what they've decided to do. Take the signal off Pringle, no risks, unless he bowls a rank full toss or a real shocker. Quite happy taking the single off him. O'Dowd, he comes right across the stumps, Alex O'Dowd. Just working it into the onside. So I think the next over from Potter, whoever at the other end, we can expect a few fireworks there.
Interesting to see the line he picks up on Hart this time, who's been giving himself some room. Adams, can he get there? Adams! Oh, he missed it! They nearly had another important one. They nearly had the Knights struggling once more.
How close is Adams to this ball? Hart gives himself room. It's a top edge. Now at this stage, let's have a look. Oh, that's catchable. You've got to say that's catchable in a final.
We've seen him do some great things in the field this year. Couldn't hang on to this one. Now he's got to forget about it. And it's still Hart and Pringle. Don't worry about this one. You can't catch that.
Matthew Hart's got a cool head. He put the previous ball right behind him and strikes this one very, very well. Right up the middle. That's a big six. Poor old Andre Adams. He won't be feeling very nice now.
This is it. This looks like it has got 25,000 written on it. And again, will he come back? Takes him on. Hart! If the throw's good, Hart was probably gone.
I agree with you. Hart was gone on this throw. Aaron Barnes out there. Picks it up. Strong arm. It's a long boundary. I wondered why did Hart come back for this one? No need. And he's not even in the frame there. You wouldn't even have to go upstairs for that one.
Just a stray. Barnes knows that he had him. Just couldn't get it on target. Maybe a few drinks in celebration now. 8 required off just 2 overs. Minor miracle required for the Aces, who have shown terrific character to fight back.
Well, they have. That was a big over for the Knights. They got those bonus runs off Pringle. That chance of Adams, off Hart. Well, they look back upon that and see that as crucial.
Potter, can he come up with something remarkable? O'Dowd eyeing off. Well, he's got a decent start. Every time you think it's over and done with, just something from the Aces to make you think a second time.
Potter finally gets one on line. He's been a little bit wide tonight by getting heaps of a lot of movement. He finally gets it just in the right area. And watch how much it jacks back into O'Dowd. Whoa, that really cramps him up. And the only place he could play it was straight down, and he's right in front of his wicket.
Is at the start of the match for an upset. They just got it so wrong in that first innings.
Well, they did, but yet they've played well as well at various times tonight. When they're looking back on this game, number 28 comes to mind, because that's how many wides and no balls they gave away. That's going to haunt them, perhaps.
But the good crowds turned up for the first time ever under lights. In Hamilton, they went in as strong favourites. Terrific display from the Knights. They can taste it. That's how close it is. Run rate only of 4.3. They've really tightened up the field. A lot of men inside the circle. Bradburn slipped. He has to get back.
Well, Captain Blair Pocock has decided to bring all his men up. There's Bradburn here. First ball comes down and, well, does his best to try and commit suicide, but dives back. Potter thinking he's in the middle of an inspirational spell, creating chances, opportunities.
There's another one out of here. Cricket Max is all about the game turning in an instant. It is still a big struggle.
A good captaincy by Pocock, bringing all his men up, creating the pressure, and in the end getting a wicket. Bradburn gone for a duck. And it's Potter, not Pringle, who's getting the wickets, making the breakthroughs.
Somebody else had to stand up. Potter said, may as well be me. Terrific online. Bradburn just tried to chip it away. Pringle called everybody off the ball immediately. Heavens above. They could almost taste the win, the Knights. They've still got some tough work to do. Bradburn doesn't get on deck.
Just when they're down and out, the Aces come back. Good catch by Pringle. Regulation. He's delighted at that.
79 for 6. Look out.
I vaguely seem to recognize your face. It's been haunting me. I can't quite recollect the time or place. You seem familiar.
Number 11, Robbie Hart.
You seem so close.
Couldn't be a better man for the job at the moment in a final. The skipper wanders out. Highest score only of 20. Doesn't need to even go close to that. The Hearts are beating, though, at a fairly quick rate. It'll be more than interesting if they go to Pringle's last over, still with a half a dozen runs to be scored.
I just wonder how Coach Chris Kugelheim and the rest of the troops are doing. Down the fingernails getting chewed off. Anxious faces round, not only on the Aces, also on the Knights. Real tension in those faces. Matthew Hart's played well, 14 off 8 balls. Is he going to try and end it in a couple of hits, or is he going to take it right down to the wire?
It's fascinating now that Pocock has spread them all out again. He's not going to take a risk with Matthew Hart. They'll all shore up again for Robbie. Chases this one. And they will go upstairs to have a look.
He's out. I think he's gone. I'm fairly sure Robbie Hart's been run out.
Well, he had a good view, Robbie Hart. He was going to the danger end. It had to be on his shoulders. Now it's on the shoulders of the third umpire. Adams getting off the deck. Robbie Hart. How close is this one?
Yeah, it looks like he's just in.
How close? When was the wicket broken? You really need to just get that back just a touch.
It's hard
now,
to tell.
Is the wicket... Absolute photo finish. I don't know.
Inconclusive, I think, to be honest.
I think he's got to get the doubt. He's got to get the doubt, and he does. What a finish to this final. And you think about Napier and Great Bats last year. This is going right down to it. Still in the 9th over of the second innings.
What's more important, they got the signal out of it. So now 7 runs from 8 balls. And the two brothers just having a chat. Let's calm it down.
Don't run me out, bro. No. Just don't run me out.
Especially without facing a ball.
Long, lonely wait for Robbie Hart to get that decision.
And this is at full speed. This is what umpire Billy Bowden's got to look at. No wonder he's going upstairs. It's hard to tell at real speed. So he had no hesitation going upstairs. But Pocock brings all the fielders up for Robbie Hart. There's the ND faces in the background. They're pretty grim at the moment.
It looks as though Pringle's last over will be needed. Maybe not. Maybe not. He just threw everything into it. Not quite sure that's where he wanted it to go, but who cares now?
Huge gamble has just paid off for Robbie Hart here. He's taken this off middle stump and flicked it round behind square. If he'd missed this, he was gone. He would have been bowled. And a lot of pressure has come off with that boundary.
He was looking a lot further north, but south will do. They will go to the last over. Evans above, have we ever had a maiden bowl? in Max cricket on 4 occasions.
Well, Chris Pringle's your man, Graham, versus Australia. 1990, Australia needed 2 runs to win off the last over, and Chris Pringle bowled a maiden over to Bruce Reid.
Oh, you had to remind me.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Willie.
That's right, it was a good over too. Bruce Reid didn't lay bad on many of them, so you got a man who's done it before.
Well, a tie will still give the Knights the Max title, because they led on the first innings. What a shell Max season. You can play for so long, and it all comes down to this.
Well, I'm going to be interested in what kind of field Pocock sets here. Matthew Hardy's dropping a man back. Craig Pryor back on the offside out to the point boundary. He's got a couple down protecting the Max zone.
Still 4 wickets up their sleeve, the Knights. Do you have a swing early, or do you just pick it off?
Definitely, you have a swing. I think early on. Try and get some contact on it. If you get it through the field, it's all over.
You better not miss the first couple.
No, well, you're right, but you've got 4 wickets in hand. It's a good cushion. Pocock's place, he's got to get a wicket.
What a great night in Hamilton. The lights are on, and there's about 5,000 or 6,000 that are not home tonight. They're right here.
And the kids are getting ready to swarm on the field.
The Knights, the favourites, just 3 runs away. What a summer. The charge is all but on. Pringle still. Now it's on. The summer is a real golden one, as we said early today. The Knights favourites. Terrific performance. A real struggle at the death. Great character from the aces. But it is the Northern Knights. The skipper, quite right for him to be out there at the death. Manages to stand nice and tall with brother Matthew as they nail it.
Hart took the option, I said. He took a swing, got good contact on it, and once he got it through past the fielders, it was all over. He knew it. That was worth the risk. They had 4 wickets in reserve, and Robbie Hart and Matthew Hart, they were good at the end.
The Knights grab it by 4 wickets. Hart, a great shot out through the covers. The value of that one, $25,000, as this Shell Max season finishes with a thriller to the Knights in the last over by 4 wickets.
Friday Night Football has arrived. At 6:30, the team sets the scene for the night's entertainment. 7:30, it's showtime. The Super 12 season kicks off. Live and exclusive, the Highlanders charge into battle against the Reds. 9:30, we preview the new National Rugby League competition. Then at 10 o'clock, relive League's finest hour of 97. New Zealand's stunning victory over Australia. Lion Red Friday Night Football has arrived on Sky Sport.
Ansett New Zealand and Qantas are proud to bring to you New Zealand's newest frequent flyer program. That means when you fly anywhere with the Ansett New Zealand network, you'll earn points for reward travel around the country, or with Qantas and its partner airlines like British Airways, American Airlines and Air Pacific to more than 590 destinations worldwide. You'll earn points at 4,000 international hotels like Park Royal and Sheraton, 5,000 rental car outlets and American Express. So next time when you feel the need to get away from it all, you can with a frequent flyer program that gives you it all. The Qantas Frequent Flyer program with Ansett New Zealand. It's worth thinking about, isn't it?
Join by Friday, February 27th, and it will only cost you $25. That's half price. Plus, if you can join before the end of March, you'll get 560 starter points free.
If anybody's tipping anybody other than the Broncos, then it's about time you visited the local doc. You want to talk about dark horses? Then you have to seriously talk about the Warriors. I really can't wait for Newcastle and Manly to come across the ditch. Daly's the #1 in the game, but he better start looking over his shoulder for a guy called Lockwood.
National Rugby League. Coming soon to Sky Sport.
You're in the final. First time ever under lights in Hamilton. It's the last over. How sweet is that to score the winning runs? What a summer for the Northern Knights. And after a terrific Shellmax season, time to hand over all the spoils.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a magnificent time here. First time under lights. I'd like to hand you over now for the presentation to Ian Smith.
Well, great scenes, Willie, as we just wait for this presentation still, trying to get the Knights out there. Crowd of around 5,000 and 6,000, plenty still hanging around. Night to remember.
Night cricket is here to stay, no doubt about that. These portable lights, unbelievable, especially for me. It's the first time I've really been close in here, and what a game, the wicket. But the Aces, they can look upon that, back upon those 28 extras, Graham, and that's going to haunt them for quite a while, I think.
Gentlemen, it's been a marvellous occasion here in Hamilton. For the second year in a row, the grand final of Max has gone down to the wire, and it's time now to hand out the spoils. First award is for the man of the match, be presented by Mr. Mark Novelo, who's the Central Regional Manager for Shell. It's a cheque for $500, and tonight it goes to Scott Styris. Second award is for the runner-up in Cricket Max League this year. It's a worthy prize in itself, a cheque for $12,500. It will be presented by the Chief Executive Officer of New Zealand Cricket, Mr. Christopher Doig, and that goes to the captain of the Auckland Aces, Blair Pocock. Magnificent trophy for the winners this year, and a cheque for $25,000. It also will be presented by Chris Doig, and this year it goes to the captain of the Northern Knights, Robbie Hart. And Robbie, I can't let you go. You've got to have a few words to your adoring fans here in Hamilton.
I'd like to thank Auckland for the game tonight. It was a hard game, and it's great to see two teams out there giving their best. I'd like to thank the guys on our side for just giving so much. Chris Kugelheim as coach. You've done so much thinking over the last 3 months. You can relax now for a little while. Murray Angel for your support. It's been fantastic. I'd like to thank Sky and Shell, Ubix and DB Draft. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming along and making a great night tonight. Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that ends the official part of the evening. It's been fantastic achievement by the Northern Knights. They've been the form side in the competition. They are worthy winners. Got a feeling that the party in Hamilton is just starting.
Yes, I think the party might have just begun. You did right, Ian Smith, and we're just standing by now to grab a couple of interviews with a few of the players. But really marvellous scenes here in the park in Hamilton, and the Northern Districts Knights, of course, who have been the pace setters right throughout the competition, and they are worthy winners. And an opportunity here now to have a quick chat with the man of the match. Joining me now, Scott Styris, and well, Scott, it was a funny old night, really, wasn't it? There were times when it looked as though you guys were going to cruise in, then back came the Aces.
Yeah, certainly. I think we had to leave around 50 runs, and maybe a little bit of complacency set in there, but we knew the Auckland Aces would come at us, and they certainly did. They batted very well, and then we've struggled a little bit chasing totals like that in the past, but thankfully the boys got up.
Well, you must have been delighted when you bowled them out. Well, didn't bowl them out, but you restricted them to 99 in their first innings. That didn't really seem enough on that pitch.
No, it was a belter. I spoke to Blair Pocock out there, and he said we should have used that wicket for the trophy game we've just completed. Yeah, 150 runs, we were wrapped with that.
And what a great knock from a fellow called Styris in the first innings, 72.
Yeah, well, I batted number 11 whole of last year. I never even, I don't think, maybe 2 bats this season, or last season. So to get up the order, just try and have a go, yeah.
And it wasn't too bad in the field either. What about the side-on hit?
Yeah, well, to run out Blair Pocock, our captain from last year, that was very sweet, but yeah, just a bit of luck, I think.
And the bowling as well, things went well for the Northern Knights. I mean, the bowling, when you look back at the season, was probably the strength.
Yeah, we've bowled fairly well. You know, we've had a plan. We knew where we wanted to bowl. The quicker guys like Joey and Darryl have either thrown it right up there as a Yorker or been short of a length, you know, and the slower guys like myself, you know, we've always tried to be full. So, you know, we've stuck to our plan and we've bowled really well. That's what got us through.
I don't think we've ever spoken to the man of the match who was out first ball in the second innings.
Yeah, no, it was a quite good one by the, you know, a few boys said there on the TV replay, but yeah, no, oh well, it happens.
Yeah, well, it's obviously been a great season, and now you've got to look forward to battling on in the trophy as well. Yeah,
well, I mean, we won 3 out of 3, so we're currently top of the table in the trophy, so we'll be working and focusing now on that competition.
Okay, Scott, thanks very much for joining us. Scott Styris, man of the match. We're just waiting now for the captains perhaps to join us, Robbie Hart and, of course, Blair Pocock. And it's been a marvellous night here for the Northern Knights. They really did struggle a bit in that second innings. Things got a little bit jittery, obviously, and there was certainly were times in that second innings when they must have felt that they weren't going to make it. But joining me now, in fact, I have Blair Pocock, the captain of the Auckland Aces. And, well, Blair, there were times I thought you were going to do it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we didn't play well enough to win the game. I thought they outplayed us in every aspect, and that's why the final we didn't front up in the first innings, and that's really cost us. But like you say, we almost snuck in the back door.
Yeah, you certainly did. 99 really wasn't enough in the first dig, was it?
Oh no, it wasn't, and I thought we bowled poorly in the first innings as well. But you know, our guys fought hard and made a good game for the crowd here. A fantastic crowd, fantastic environment. So you know, I'm proud of the guys that they fought hard, but you know, we really let ourselves down.
All right, mate. Thanks very much, and well, good luck in the trophy.
Thank you very much.
Okay, there we are, Blair Pocock, the captain of the Auckland Aces, and now stepping in is the man of the moment, Robbie Hart, and a bit tough on the old nerves towards the end there.
It was hard, wasn't it? It was terrible watching, I tell you.
Would have been easier being out there, I guess. You're probably quite pleased to go and have a bat.
Oh, I don't know about that. It was quite tight there at the end. We made it look really hard.
Yeah, was it a psychological thing? I mean, you had such a big lead in the first innings. Did you think they'd come back quite so strongly?
We respected the way they'd bat, and they did really well to score almost 140. Always in a final situation, chasing runs is always a lot of pressure, and it showed.
I think in the history of cricket, Max, it's quite difficult batting fourth, isn't it?
Oh, it always is. It's always the team bowling is always putting a lot of pressure on the batters, and it showed. It was really pleasing for us though to have a good TV game, because we've played really good max cricket the last sort of 7 or 8 games, but when we've got onto the telly, we've struggled a bit. So it's nice to put a game together like
You're not going to blame the telly, are you?
Not blame the telly, no, but it's been disappointing to have those poor games, and to come through tonight was fantastic.
Well, it's been a wonderful season so far, and you haven't finished yet.
No, we've got 2 out of 2 so far, and obviously we've got our goals, but we just have to look at the immediate future, and we've got a Shell Trophy game this Wellington coming up.
Okay, Robbie, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Here we are, Robbie Hart, the victorious captain of the Northern Knights. Well, it's almost time to go from Hamilton. Before we do, though, let's have a quick look at sport coming up on Sky for the rest of the year and for the rest of the week. And, of course, we have the Winter Olympics coming towards an end in Japan, live on Sky Sport tomorrow afternoon. And would you believe it? Friday night football starts next week, and a big one to start with too at Carisbrook. See if you can pick the winner of this one, the Otago Highlanders against the Queensland Reds. And it's all starting next Friday at 6:30 live on Sky. It's the start of a massive rugby season, and it'll be a fantastic rugby season, I'm sure. And of course, coming up very shortly, we're going to see one of the sides that we'll see next Friday in action, the Queensland Reds against the Canterbury Crusaders. So there we are. It's been a marvellous night here in Hamilton. The Northern Knights had set the pace right throughout the competition, and in a real nail-biter, they got home to win it by 4 wickets. Congratulations to them. We have more cricket coming up, of course, on Sky on Thursday with Cricket Company, but from the big crew here in Hamilton, it's good evening.
Getting jiggy with them. We're all over the place. Getting jiggy with it. One's got him. Getting jiggy with it. Gets another one. Getting jiggy with it. That's out. Right bowling, Warren Wisniewski.
Tomorrow on Sky Sports.
Great catch.
Highlights from day 3 of the first test, the Black Caps versus Zimbabwe.